I'm the smart one.
Hi, I'm the pretty one.
Hi, I'm the angry one. What do you mean I'm the angry one? What the fuck? Hi everyone, I'm Ben Rosenthal, the man formerly known as Mr. E. I'm joined by many co-hosts here on Hack the Dino, the gaming cast, which is what... Don't worry about Floppy, he walked into a door. We are here to bring you all the gaming news, previews, and other words that I can't think of because I'm a bit flummoxed. Here at the Hack the... Floppy, how are you going?
I see three of you.
Brayden, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good, Ben.
Good. Quick, save us. We're quickly drowning in a sea of our own words.
Have you been listening to any podcasts and any podcast services recently?
Boy, have I been listening to some podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between, Dungeons and Daddies is possibly the greatest podcast out there that isn't ours. You should all go and listen to it right now. The first season just wrapped. It is 4 dads travel to the Forgotten Realms in order to save their kidnapped sons. It goes for 69 episodes, and it's a damn good time. You should all... Brandon, what have you got to say about Dungeons and Daddies?
I've got so much to say about Dungeons and Daddies. It can't fit in a 2-hour-long podcast. Ben, where can people find this podcast?
They can find it over at hackthedino.com or head on over to twitch.tv/hackthedino where you may be watching it live right now. Or head over and watch the VOD, which is a video on demand. Oh, look at us. We're all cyber techie. That means a very different thing for a teenage Ben. YouTube.com/hackthedino. Or if you don't like our faces, not a problem. You can head on over to Spotify or iTunes or any of those podcast things. Be sure to leave a review and comment and all that sort of stuff because it helps with the algorithm. It helps us lasso it and ride it into the sunset like a good cowboy. Hey, Floppy.
Yeah, mate.
What's happening? What's new with you? What's going on?
I have been playing
Oh, really?
Metroid
Dread?
Dread.
Oh, good.
Metroid Dread. So I've dabbled in a Metroid game here or there in the past.
You know, I think I actually own pretty much every Metroid game just from collecting.
And have you played any of them?
Super Metroid I have.
Okay, so that's the one I played a little bit of, and I was like, man, this is hard. I should get back to this one day. And I played a little bit of, there was one that was on the 3DS or DS.
Yep.
But I've been playing Metroid Dread on the Switch. This thing is fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot put this shit down. I think I'm about halfway through. I had a chat to Anto before, and he's like, told him where I'm up to. I'm up to like the big anus-looking underwater monster. I can't remember the name. I give them my own names.
Karen.
Yep. And I reckon I'm about halfway through. This thing is so good, man. Like, there are so many different gadgets, upgrades, but they introduce them really well spaced out, and every time you get a new upgrade, you have to use it straight away, like a number of times. So it teaches you how to use it as well. You don't just feel like they just throw information at you and then you forget it. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yep.
The levels are great. Like, I never really have been a huge fan of having to like go back and revisit areas.
That's one of the main reasons I don't play a lot of Metroid games.
Right, and it's the main reasons, apart from the difficulty level, I don't get into things like Dark Souls and stuff like that. I love doing it in this because I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it's kind of gimmicky with the different doors that you can get into. And I remember being in those areas and then going back to them is actually quite like fulfilling. Yeah, I'm really digging it, man. It's really smooth. It's fast paced. I don't feel like it takes ages to get across the map and then have to go back the other way and go, for ages again. You move the traversals real quick and you open up like shortcuts every time that you get a sort of a new weapon or a new ability in your suit. Yeah, it's really cool. I dig it. Are you going to play it?
I'm undecided. Like, I've got so many games I have to play, and I've been playing more than usual lately. But I don't know, because, I mean, social media guru Anto, I was talking to him about it on launch day, because I was obviously getting the Switch OLED, and I was contemplating as to whether I get Metroid Dread as well, knowing that, I've played Super Metroid, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to invest like sort of $70 in getting the game and not playing it at this point in time.
I mean, fair. I was kind of thinking the same, but I picked it up knowing that if I didn't actually like it, I can just return it. And I'm hooked on it, man. Like, it is so good. It looks so pretty too. Like, the colors, the map, everything.
Did you play Hades?
No. I played a little bit of Hades, but...
That was the last game that I was hooked on.
Yeah, see, I couldn't really get into that. But yeah, I love Metroid. I'm going to play this to death. I think What's the equivalent on Nintendo of 100%ing something?
I don't know, getting your money's worth.
I think I've definitely done that. Yeah, I'm about, I think, 4.5 hours in. I reckon it's probably about an 8 to 9 hour game. Probably 12 for me because I take longer to play things.
That's good though, because long game. You don't need 60-hour epics.
No, I don't.
Who's
I'm
got time
all
for that?
about the 10 to 12 hour games this year.
Nintendo know their market. Kids and old people.
Yeah.
None of this serious gamer stuff. Kids and old people.
Look how pretty it is though. And I do love like the color coordination on the map of all the different
I've got to say,
doors.
watching this footage now, so the last footage that I saw was, well, I remember being cognitive of, that word.
Do you want to try and get that one out again?
No, I
or-
don't. I
okay.
don't. I remember looking specifically at the graphics during that launch trailer,
Yeah.
where it looked like a blown up 2DS game.
Yeah. It doesn't though, does it?
Not at the moment. Has that been substantiated with your playthrough? Does it look a lot better than a 2DS?
Oh, it looks heaps better, man. Like it's smooth as, and like there's nice lighting, nice shades, just pop colors that pop, really cool textures. Yeah, I dig it.
Put me off a bit about it is I don't like stress and anxiety. Don't like timed events or stress and anxiety. And the fact you have these freaking robots chasing you.
They're only in very small, isolated areas though.
Right.
They don't follow you through the whole map. There is this area that you're in is an EMMI or EMI area. There are specific doors they can't pass through.
Right.
So you can get to safety. You eventually develop a way of destroying them as well and avoiding them, which is good. But yeah, I don't find it too bad. Well, I don't find it bad at all because they are isolated.
Right.
Now, you will have to get past them in that area, but they're not going to follow you through the whole thing. So once you get out of that area, you can catch your breath.
It's one of the things, it's like almost an escort mission. I hate escort missions in games. Like, I don't want to feel that time pressure because my games, I like exploring and taking things at my own pace.
Yep.
And as soon as you introduce like a villain that's chasing you down, or you have to escort someone to here, or even like a time challenge, it's just a big
Yeah, so I don't enjoy those either, which is why it doesn't bother me this because it's not an escort mission. There's no timed areas that I've come across that I'm aware of, and the robot ones that chase you down, isolated, so you can get away from them and then rethink what you're going to do, adjust your strategy, whatever. Like you're not pressured all the time.
Right.
You're actually pressured for very little.
So it's
of
just little segments.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Now-
essentially an area on the map that is cut off by specific doors that they can't go through.
Okay. And is there like levels, or is it one big area that you can only have access to, like it's gated areas?
So there are gated areas because you get through, say, an area to catch an elevator or a teleporter or a rail machine, like a rail train thing to a different area on the giant map. Mm-hmm. But then you will go back and forth to achieve different things and get different abilities and upgrades. But I've never been left wondering where I should go.
Okay.
It's always been quite clear.
Okay, so the level design's pretty...
Really good, really intuitive, and the map is really easy to use. Zoom in, zoom out, and see the areas that you haven't been,
Right.
and see the different doors that you haven't unlocked because they're all color coded.
Now, this is part 5 of the Metroid storyline?
Look, when it gets to that point, I don't know.
That's what I was going to ask, because you don't know any of the lore leading up to this, do you?
Correct, but it gave me a nice little intro at the beginning, so I understood enough to be able to get into what I was doing.
Okay, so, yeah, you didn't feel like you were missing out on anything?
No, not at all. They've done enough in the intro to explain what had happened previously. Mm-hmm. I imagine Anto would probably be someone to ask more about that. And I'm enjoying the story, and it's actually made me interested in going back and playing the other ones.
That was going to be my next question, because you've got that on your SNES Mini.
Yeah,
Actually, you've
I've
got
got
the
it on
original
the online.
cart.
I've got the original cart. I've also got it on the online thing for Nintendo and all sorts.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. All right, so recommended?
Highly recommended. Absolutely. I think it's great fun.
I'm sort of tempted. I'm sort of really tempted. Because, again, it's a Nintendo property, and yeah. That. I've been playing a couple of games, which is highly irregular.
Pokemon Go doesn't count.
That's every day. First one, I backed a project a while ago called, it wasn't called this at the start, but Rainbow Billy. Now, it started off as like they described it as a Pokemon-like, but based on friendship. So you don't actually get characters to fight each other. You have discussions, and the discussion tree you make either fuels their anger or takes it away, and you befriend them. But yeah, basically, cartoon world, big old bad escapes and makes it all grayscale, and then you have to travel to islands and restore color to the world by befriending people.
This is very similar to The Blob.
Yeah, but it's not a action platform. There are platforming bits, but more about that later. It's like, think of it as a Pokemon RPG type puzzle game. Okay. So you go around to, I think there's 60 odd islands, and you have to befriend all the inhabitants on there who have all been sort of, they have anxieties that have boiled to the surface. Like you have one who thinks everyone hates them.
Yeah, right.
So you have this dialogue tree, choice of dialogue tree, and you have to try and assure them that you understand where they're coming from and sort of like let their guard down. And then when you let their guard down, you have different puzzles that you have to work out in order to try and win them over. So the first couple are sort of like almost, they're button combinations. Like you go A, X, A.
Let their guard down and win them over. Doesn't sound too good, actually. Sounds
No,
like
but you like get their guard down.
But you want to get them to trust you.
Yes, yeah.
Earn their trust.
It's very wholesome. It's a very wholesome.
Earn their trust.
Wholesome game.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then if they, earn their trust, they come with you on their journey, and they then you can swap out sort of each of the friends that you have in order to go up and try and take on the other people.
So is it kind of aimed at making people or helping people be more aware of people with anxiety, depression, things like that?
I think it highlights them.
Cool.
From reviews that I've read, which scored it very, very highly, it's sort of later on in the game, without giving away too much, because I haven't played much of it. I've only played probably 2 hours of it. It delves into Billy's backstory. And from what I've read, that it's an issue that's handled very, very well in this way. But it's been getting a lot of good reviews. It's a very simple game. It's easy to understand, easy to follow. It's fun. It's wholesome. It's made well. There's very little glitches in there. And not bad for something I backed on Kickstarter 4 years ago.
Far out.
Yeah, so it's been sitting there waiting. And what's more, I got an email saying, it's all released. You should all have your digital codes. And I went, where's mine? So I had to email them and go, sorry, folks,
Oopsies.
I haven't got my digital code. And anyway, they sent it to me without...
What, out of curiosity, what did it cost you to pledge?
Oh, look, I can't even remember. I would have been $15-20 Australian.
So well worth it, you'd say?
Yeah. So it's a bit more than that now, obviously, because they got picked up by studios and whatnot. When I backed it, there was just a small indie project, which meant they got to expand the game, which is why it took so long. I think they also had some issues because everything looked very reminiscent of a certain mouse. So they had to change some things there.
Whoopsies.
I think it was called Steamboat Billy when it first came out.
Oh, okay. That's stepping on some toes.
So that's why it got changed to Rainbow Billy. And it was black and white throughout the whole game. So they had to very quickly...
It's almost Cupheady.
Yes. Yeah. That same similar style.
I like that. That's good.
But yeah, this is available now, I think, on PlayStation and definitely Switch, because that's where I'm playing it. Maybe Xbox. Maybe not Xbox, actually.
Okay.
But definitely, if you think it's... I don't know how much it is, though. Sorry.
Speaking of Switch, I've got a game for you when we get to deals.
Oh, all right. Oh, good. I like that. Last time you made me download the NBA game.
Oh, have you played it?
I was until it got to all the microtransactions. I'm like, ugh.
Just don't do them.
Yeah. No, I've played it a little bit, but I've been playing other games like Pokemon Sword and Shield. So, time for me to admit something.
What's that? You like Pokemon? Get out of town.
I know, right? No, I've never seen Community.
What?
The TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be right up your alley.
I know, considering I really love Dan Harmon and everything that he creates.
Yeah.
So I started watching it, and yeah, it's fantastic, and I love it.
Troy and Abed.
Yeah. I bet especially.
Morning.
Troy and Abed in the morning.
That's fantastic show. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. While I'm watching that, I've been playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, but just the expansion area where you do the den hunting.
Okay.
So you go online with 4 other people and make your way through 4 Pokemon to a large run, just because the shiny ratio is down to about 25%. You get a 25% chance of it being a shiny as opposed to 1 in 5,000 chance?
I was just saying that 25% is heaps good.
No, maybe it's 5%. Sorry, 5%. So 5% chance. So I've just, because it doesn't really need a lot of brains to do that bit. You just sit there going, but. I've just been playing that while watching Community. Here on my OLED going, yep.
I was waiting for you to say, and because you have to play with 4 players, I've been playing with Troy and Abed.
Yeah.
Other members of the Community TV show.
They're not doing anything at the moment. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. Haven't got any shinies yet. Bit disappointed in that. the old shiny grind, but it has reinvigorated me for the upcoming Diamond and Pearl games, which are out in less than a month.
That's what, November
19th.
19, yeah. Ooh,
You know
close.
that date that I called it? When they said they were coming, and I said it'll be November 19th.
Every chance to plug himself.
Yeah, well, I got tails for that. And last but not least, we've all been playing the latest Fortnitemares. Now, for those of you who don't know, October, Fortnite each year brings about Fortnitemares, which is a spooky thing that happens to the island. I've played some duos with Floppy, some with Anto, our social media guru. We've won some duos matches thanks to moi. But yeah, it's a fun time. It is a fun time. You've got giant monstrosities walking around the map now. There they are, and you have to take them on. And what's more, they're invisible. So you'll just hear like this, and if they get close to you, they suck you into this alternate area and you have to fight them.
Yeah, we came across one of them the other night.
And we took it down.
It was a pretty shit time, though. I hated it. It was terrifying.
And then we were playing a game, and we didn't even realize that we won.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Just
Floppy
one
was healing up, and I saw someone in a tower. I went, "Oh, I'll get him."
healing up.
And then I went,
I was hiding.
"Were you? I thought you were healing up."
Nah, fuck that. I was hiding under the giant tower while you were fighting all the bad guys.
So, yeah, I took that guy out and I went, I'm going to go get him. And as I was going up, their duo partner was also going up there to res him. So I went, cool, I'll try and knock this guy out. I went, boom, and they panicked and ran. So I went, I'm chasing them down. So I just running after him, my shotgun, bang, 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 and got them. And then I didn't realize they were the last two when we won. Hey!
I was getting ready to die and go for another mission.
So that's what I've been playing lately. Braden, you haven't been playing anything, have you?
Not at all. I'm just trying to get through uni.
I like his note in this run sheet is literally nothing. Just skip me, move on to the next bit.
So the next bit,
Perfect.
speaking of next bits,
Bad.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
He's in a movie called Uncharted.
He's in an Uncharted film.
The trailer dropped earlier today as we record this. Now, have we all seen this trailer?
I have seen it once quickly.
Okay, so I am not an Uncharted fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an Uncharted guy. I think I've
Are you
played...
against it or you just never played it?
I've played maybe the first game, and I remember playing the first game and thinking, man, I wish this was Indiana Jones.
He essentially
Sweet.
is.
So you played the worst one.
Yeah.
Well, I had no desire to actually go for it. So, Braden, you've played a bit of these, haven't you?
Yes, I certainly have.
What do you think of the trailer?
I think it is fine. It's fine. It's nothing amazing. It could not have the name Uncharted on it, and it would just be a generic another adventure movie.
Yep.
That's where I was with it.
Yeah, like it's also weird because it's like it's Uncharted, and they're gonna just cherry pick moments from all games.
Like, literally.
So they've taken his, stuff about his brother from the fourth game. They've taken the plane sequence from the third game.
There's the one from second game. Third
Yeah,
game?
the chick from the second
Third
game,
game
and
is-
then she stuck around a bit, but
You got his family ring in there from
Yeah.
all of them.
you
and-
got they've really just cherry picked about the whole thing, and it's like okay, it's fine.
Well, it's been in development hell for years.
Oh yeah,
Like, they had to, try and get something out of it. Now, that plane scene,
Mm.
I've written in the notes here, I hate physics, and so does this trailer. The plane
Why?
scene, when I didn't realize it was ripped off straight from the game.
yeah.
And then when Tom Holland, we can see on the screen now, wakes up and he's in that cargo trail, and he flies back and then just does this hopping along to get back into the plane.
Yeah.
Expletive warning. That's fucking bullshit.
No, it's not. There's a burble of air behind the plane. Skydiver.
So you can really jump up
Have you ever
into
played
a plane like that?
Never played a racing game with a slipstream?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking Skydiver, man.
I've never tried to jump into the back of a plane, but there is a burble of air behind it where
Yep.
you're not getting blasted by the.
Can you survive getting hit by a car?
Yeah, I got hit by a car.
No, but up in the air.
Oh, probably
See?
not going to hurt as much as getting more than.
Not as much. What?
As getting hit on the ground.
I don't know.
Cars-
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a film. Floppy, what do you think?
Ulrich agrees with me. He's also a skydiver.
Oh, okay, well, there you go. Well, I would
I reckon.
say...
Look, it maybe. I don't think it's beyond impossible.
So you can really climb ladders up there.
Oh, Yeah.
Like,
Look,
what are we looking at?
I mean, he's hanging on to things. You can climb on things. You just got like a wind in
But
your face.
here
At that
in the
point.
game, that's all together. That's like a bridge.
Yep.
What we saw was like a rope bridge.
Yeah. So look, possible. There's a burble of air that goes around it, man. That means that there's going to be spaces there where you don't have 180k an hour wind in your face
Right. Okay, but
because air flows over it, and
okay, I get that. But does the pocket that it's creating
Mm-hmm.
make it so you can do this climbing rather easily?
probably yeah.
It would.
I can climb onto a wing of a plane and hang onto it. And yeah.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Sign up to our Patreon so we can send Floppy up into the sky to climb
please
the
do.
ladder.
I'd love to get back in the
Floppy
sky.
is 85% gremlin though, so
That's true. Just don't get him wet after midnight.
That's the best time to. No, sorry.
you weren't expecting a close up on that, were you?
No.
What do you? Just quickly, Floppy. What do you think of the Uncharted trailer?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing as Braden, man. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's a good fun. It won't be the worst video game movie ever made. It won't be the best. It'll just be.
It'll be there.
It'll be a fine movie. It'll be like the first Tomb Raider one. It'll be fine.
It'll exist.
It'll exist. It won't do anything damage to the series. It'll be fine.
I don't think it's going to hinder the sales of any Uncharted copies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to boost them either. But it's not. It's just going to be a movie.
Oh, it just reminds me of the quote that Braden brought up that Tom Holland said that
Yeah.
he regretted. What was it, Braden? He regretted trying to look cool
He
and not
regretted
act.
trying to look cool because he forgot to act in scenes. There were shots
love his
where,
honesty.
Like, I imagine it was that shot of like him coming out of the water where like his shirt's like completely stuck to his muscled bod and he's standing up and he's looking all cool. And I bet in his head he goes, "Oh shit, I'm a character."
Yeah, that's right. Not a Calvin Klein model. That's
Yep.
the other guy.
Not anymore.
No, he probably
Oh,
still
Marky
is,
Mark.
But I did think it was an odd choice of ages that they went for the characters.
Well, so like as they age, they can keep making the movies, right?
I assume so.
This thing ain't getting a sequel.
No.
No,
Oh,
I don't
God,
think so.
no.
I doubt it.
Nah, they went for the whole origin story thing, mixed with just completely ignoring an origin story thing. I think this thing is it's not gonna be no one's gonna be begging for a second one.
Tomb Raider got a sequel.
Just saying.
Tomb Raider was
Ulrich's coming with the physics behind it.
Okay. On top of the crates, the wind is probably about 1/5 of the aircraft speed. The airspeed of the aircraft is going to be massively reduced because of the drag of the containers. So how fast does an airplane fly through the air?
Oh man, how fast does a car drive? Depends on the car.
88 miles per hour.
Yes, done.
Okay.
Any faster than that, you go back in time or forward.
So speaking of going back in time, Resident Evil 4 VR has been released. Yeah. Now,
I somehow missed this until the whole run sheet.
really? You
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
notice
know
it was
how.
being-
I
We've
no
covered
idea how
it
I've
on
missed
the show.
I don't watch what we're doing. Fuck.
We had a discussion.
I was high. Did we?
Yeah.
All right, maybe.
Anyway,
Maybe I forgot. I always have a terrible memory.
it's being released very, very shortly. What hasn't been released is that Capcom has, in making this remake, they've censored and removed content for a modern audience. So some of the things that they've altered, you can no longer look up Ashley's skirt at certain points. Of course, in the first one, you could look up as she was climbing up the stairs and she'd call you a pervert, rightly so. There's a line about going back to Leon's room for some overtime, in quotation marks, and that's been removed. Good. So these types of things haven't been publicized, so there will clearly be more coming that they've changed. But the internet being the internet, I can guarantee that there's going to be outrage.
Oh, of course it will, because you've changed stuff.
So my question is, will that distract from the game, and should remakes do this sort of thing, or should they be straight down the line, straight remakes, change nothing? My simpleton take is that Leon is the hero in this situation of the game. He's the protagonist. By having your hero do horrible things like, take advantage of underage girls, it's letting the player know that this kind of thing is okay. So objectifying women and whatnot, if that hero does it, who I'm playing at the moment, then it's okay for me to do it because the hero does it. So taking it out removes that temptation, I think, in a very, very simplistic and basic standing.
I think basically it was a product of its time. That time is not now. If you can take things like that out or tweak them without changing the overall game, which if it's just those sorts of things, then it's not going to change the gameplay. It's not going to change the story.
But I mean, even if you do, look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. Spoilers, they change a shit ton.
Yeah. So they did, that was a rebuild, that was a full remake. This is
This is a VR remake.
it's a remake, but it's the same story, right? With the same characters and it looks the same.
Yes, but we didn't know that about Final Fantasy VII.
No, we didn't. So look, yeah, absolutely. If you got the opportunity to right some, we'll call them wrongs of the generation, go for it.
Course correct.
Course correct. Good word. So look, it's not going to impact the story. It's not going to impact the game. People will complain because people are people. And people will always complain about something. If you don't change things, they'll complain. If you do change things, they'll complain. If you change some but not all, they'll complain. Someone will complain.
Braden,
Yo.
what are your thoughts on remakes changing stuff?
When it's for actually making things not incredibly problematic and creepy and gross and disgusting and yeah, I'm all for it.
Yay!
If anything, I really, really hope that what they should have done is if someone attempts to do that in the VR version and be an absolute gross pervert, it should just be a flat-out jump scare and insta-death, and it corrupts your save file, and you don't get to play the game anymore.
Better yet, like 2 little probes come out of your VR headset and go into your lobes.
I was really wondering where you were going for that for a second. I'm
And
like,
then
are you going to make this gross?
Of course not. When do I ever? And it just lobotomizes you.
Yep, here for it.
Good. Here for lobotomy. Speaking of lobotomies, there was an Animal Crossing
Animal
direct.
Crossing. That was the best segue you've ever done. Sorry, that was the one good segue you've done.
Braden,
Yo.
what did you think about the Animal Crossing direct?
So I had zero thoughts going into this. I completely forgot it was
like
even...
Nintendo.
I completely forgot it was even coming out.
Snap.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'll skip into it. I want to see what the cafe's like. And the cafe was about 30 to 40 seconds of this video.
Do you know why? Because it does nothing.
Yeah,
You go in there, you
it's a
drink a
cafe.
coffee for 200 bells, and then that's it.
It's a cafe, that's it. So then I was like, oh, okay. Like, what's this other stuff that they're adding? And they're actually adding, like, a decent amount of stuff.
Well, there was 2 lot. There was free DLC that we'll get.
Yes,
And then
so
a paid DLC.
There's free DLC, which contains the cafe. It contains, what's his face here? Cap'n.
Yep.
And with his little sea
The
shanties.
heck is that guy?
It's a turtle.
No, it's not.
He's a frog.
No, it's not.
He's a frog turtle.
It's neither
Kappa?
of those things.
Anto's correcting us, but we can't hear him. And then there's also, like, you can do with all these other islands. You can make, like, a market island.
Yep.
And, like, and you can do, they're trying to put Wii Fit into it.
Yeah, no, that's not going to do. No one's going to do that.
Yeah,
You can do exercises
I
with your
thought that
animal
was quite
friends.
funny. You can change the styles and stuff. They've added a heap of shit. And then you get to sort of
Well,
the
you can
interesting
also
part.
change the front of your house, which is the one thing that got me excited, because you
Yeah.
can make your house like an imperial castle now.
Yes, here it comes. It is here.
You know, years from now, when they remake this, that's one of the things they're going to take out.
Check it.
What, the motion controls?
Check it out.
The exercise.
Yeah, look at that. You can have that as your house.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm going to be doing it just for that. And then once it's done, I'm still not going to pay Tom Nook off the loan.
Expand
Oh, yeah.
my storage.
They've added Stardew Valley.
Yes.
What?
There's
What?
farming.
Yeah, you can now farm.
What did you call it?
They've added
Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think he said?
And
Something
they've-
else
like,
that should have been
look
taken
at
out in
that.
the remake.
That looks lovely.
Feature walls. They're giving you feature walls
Yeah.
as well.
I like feature walls.
They're adding a lot of stuff, which is really, really like things that it should have had to begin
Basic inclines.
with. This one is the one that I think is going to have the most impact.
Selfie mode.
Actually doing like proper photography things rather than just this really shitty basic thing they had to start with. People will have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, my daughter's going to go insane over that.
You're going to go insane over that.
But then you get to the interesting part, which they've also added these little guys, gyroids. These little things, those ones, you know.
Yep.
It's an Animal Crossing thing. I completely forgot they existed until it popped up.
They all look
Squeakoid?
like bongs.
Yes, correct, they do. But then
can
the
put your
paid
weed in there,
DLC is you can go to work, and
Yay, you can pay to go to work.
and so they've added Happy Home Paradise, which is where's the title screen here? Happy Home Paradise, which is you go and work at a resort on an archipelago where there's a bunch of different islands with a bunch of different things, and you basically become a vacation home designer. But the best part about it is this little monkey who works there, and the dugong who works there as well. Look at those two. They're the
Yeah,
cutest things in
I
the
have to
world.
agree with Braden there. The monkey is clearly the best part of this game.
Yeah, it's the best. But that's behind a paywall, so too bad, so sad.
Unless
Unless.
Braden,
Oh, skip
which
to
we'll
it,
get
skip
to.
Skip to it. It's almost here.
It's
Here it
almost
is.
here. Yeah, anything else you want to say about it before I complete my segue?
I totally didn't care about it, and then as I was watching it, I found myself actually being like, "Hey, this actually looks pretty good." It's not a lot, and it's not anything groundbreaking, but I think it will actually get people who dropped off Animal Crossing to at least pick it up again.
I dropped off, and I will pick it up again because again, I want that. I want that house.
I'm in
I
the
didn't
same
drop
boat.
off. I threw it away.
Yes,
Oh.
we know.
Oof.
Too much Jumanji to play.
But then they announced this part with obviously it's paid DLC. It's quite
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, out of nowhere, they gave us the Nintendo Online, Nintendo 64, and Sega pricing. Like, oh, here it is, by the way. We said we were going to get it to you. It's part of this. And they've added the DLC to the expansion pricing. So you can have the normal Nintendo Online pricing, which you get the SNES and the NES games. Then for an extra premium, you get Nintendo 64 and Sega Master System or Genesis games. Mega Drive. I always get those mixed up. Anto,
I know the same.
Genesis. What was that? Was that Mega Drive? It's Mega Drive.
Genesis was called the Genesis in America because they didn't have the rights to the words Mega Drive in the US.
There you go.
And they've always got to be different.
Yeah, US. Stupid America. I mean, hi America. You
Don't we
the
have
number one-
American listeners?
They're predominantly our audience.
Whoops.
Anyway, back to this. Pricing was revealed. It's basically double what you're paying now.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it being double the price and comparing it to sort of what Sony and Microsoft offer
So
for
I
the
get
similar pricing?
NES games.
Yep.
I get SNES games.
Yep.
I get 64 games.
Yep.
And I get Genesis/Mega Drive games.
Correct. And you get to go online.
And I get to
a
go
cloud
online.
save.
I get cloud saves.
Yep.
With
And
Sony and
DLC.
Xbox, I get a couple of games a month.
Which you get to keep.
Yeah.
And some of those are big first party games.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Do you think that's... So just
Yeah.
to put it in perspective, correct me if I'm wrong, Braden, but I think the family package, you get 8 slots or 8 people who are in your family, so it's just 8 people, and I think that's about $117.
That seems right.
So for 8
$117?
people can get this all for 170, that's heaps good, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a yearly fee.
Yeah, like for a PlayStation Plus, that's what, $80 for one person for a year.
But PlayStation as well, you have, I don't know, voice chat. I didn't
True.
still doesn't
You know
have
what?
a voice
You know what
chat.
else we have? PGA Golf 2K21.
And
So-
Mortal Kombat X and
Yeah.
God of War.
Yeah.
And
How many? Ocarina of Time.
yeah, but I've played that.
So
Couple of times.
the new one for us here in good old Australia is $110.
110, there you go.
Yeah, I think it's totally worth it.
I mean, I'm going to get it, but like, I don't get Nintendo's pricing. And I've said it numerous times in our Discord and in shows as well. Ever since Iwata passed away, I just get the feeling, I don't know whether it's, confirmation bias, but I just get the feeling Nintendo has just become a lot more anti-consumer with what they bring out.
I think they've always been there. I think you're noticing it now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't understand their decisions.
Dude, they've always had like amiibos.
Yeah, but I mean, they were collector things. And that's the other thing as well. This shortage, this...
You mean like amiibos?
Yeah, exactly. So
Always been
amiibos, the amiibo cards, which they've had numerous printings of, and it took how long before the initial print run and then the secondary print run for those amiibo cards?
Oh,
It was like 9 months, almost a year.
probably.
Like, they just seem to shoot themselves in the feet whenever they can. Like, they've got a guaranteed moneymaker and they just refuse to. Look at the NES Mini, the SNES Mini, when they first came out.
Yeah.
They had that run. Oh, no, we run out. And, of course, scalpers pick them up and they sell out instantly. And then they bring them back and they're sitting on the shelves because no one wants them anymore. The latest one is those Nintendo 64 controllers. You could only have access to buying them if you were a Nintendo Online person, which I am.
Which I think is better because then, I mean, ideally I'd love to just be no scalpers.
Yeah.
But I think that helps combat the scalpers.
Yep. I just... all right, well, I lost my train of thought because I just noticed something. And the thing I noticed was that Braden wasn't recording this episode, so we're going to have to pull it off Twitch.
Oh no! Sorry.
Uh-oh.
So
That's
the
my
podcast is
bad.
going up late, people.
That's my bad. I'm sorry, everybody.
That was a very good dude from Family Guy.
The Nintendo 64 controllers sold out within half an hour of being released. Thankfully, I got 2. So
you got one for me. That's so
no,
nice
no,
of you.
I've got 1 for my collection and 1 to play with. You were able to buy a maximum of 4 per person, and that's it. But again, they'll come back. They had... see, I'm all flustered. They had the NES controllers and the Super Nintendo controllers. Mm-hmm. Once again, they bought them out, sold out instantly. Scalpers, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. A year and a half later, they bought them back, and then they had to discount them because they had so many because no one wanted them anymore. Like, Nintendo just seems to be... I don't understand their logic. They don't have any logic. It's just like, here's the thing. Oh, it's popular. Okay, cool.
There must be a reason, man. They're a smart company. They're not the richest, highest profit earning company in the world for no reason.
But I just don't understand. Like, no other company does that. No other company is just so... No, we're doing this. If you don't like it, too freaking bad. Like, go back to their history of having developers having to buy the full run of carts before they can even put their game on there.
Yeah, that's just...
So if the game's a bomb, that developer's
just dirty
out of business.
That is. That's dirty business.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
And that's why when they told Sony to bugger off when they were developing the PlayStation for them, and Sony went, all right, well, we're not playing with you again. So when the 64 came around, they couldn't have the sound chip that was in the Super Nintendo because who made that? Sony. Again, shooting themselves in the foot. And it might just be me, again, as we said, me just suddenly realizing this and it being confirmation bias. But my God, how are they still in business?
They're good at what they do. Doesn't mean they're always nice about it.
Well, I mean, there was even rumors coming out that Nintendo have gone, oh, we're not going to release physical cartridges anymore. Like the next generation,
No,
that's
that
it.
wasn't. That wasn't Nintendo being rumors. That was dickheads on the internet.
Well, all right, let's...
They say, oh, we might make a digital console as well as our physical console. The same thing that everyone else does. And then people went, what? Nintendo's not going to make digital console, only going to make digital games. Oh, this is disgusting. No, calm down. Read the whole sentence.
Yeah. Anyway, I was getting a bit worked up. But what do you think about Nintendo's current business practices, Floppy, on the back of this?
I think it's the same as everyone else's, mate. I don't think it's it's no different to any other big business.
See how worked up I got? And Floppy's just like, whatever, it is what it is.
Vote with your wallet.
I will buy what I want to buy. I won't pay for things I don't want to pay for.
Yep. Braden, what do you think?
Vote with your wallet.
Yeah. I think people just vote with your wallet. If you like something, do it. If you want to support a business for the way they're acting, do it. If you don't do it. Simple as that.
Yeah. I like the way I'm the hothead. He's getting fed up.
Now he wonders why he's the angry one.
No, look, I've been a big Nintendo fanboy for pretty much all my life.
I think it burns you a little bit more because you love Nintendo.
I do. I really do.
Love
I love
Nintendo,
them.
and
I love
to see
their
them
properties.
doing something that might be considered unscrupulous.
And the fact that I think my eyes have only just been open, say, in the past 18 months.
Yeah.
And it's
Whereas
all
I'm
just
like, what are
coming
you
in
talking
now.
about, man? This is the same thing that every company does forever, since the dawn of time.
My friend Harry, he's so dirty on Nintendo because he feels betrayed by them.
Yeah.
Just because of their anti-consumerist practices. And he constantly barrages them. And before I was going, yeah, all right, that's just Harry being grumpy old shit, whatever. But then all of a sudden I started going, no, but I'm not grumpy about it. I'm confused. It's like, I'm just going, what? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? What you're doing makes no sense. Why would you do this? How are you still making money with that decision? Is my very concept of reality wrong? Is this not how society works? What about capitalism? Why doesn't anyone think about capitalism anymore?
What about Teeny Tina's Wonderland? Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
D&D.
Capitalism, it just doesn't work.
I'll keep buying stuff.
So Tiny Tina's
That's
Wonderland
why it works.
had a trailer released today. Players will have a number of customization options from the character's appearance to the game's multi-class system. The video that we are watching now on screen specifically highlights 2 of those classes that you can choose from. The Stabomancers.
I love Tiny Tina stuff.
And
So
the
good.
Berserkers. A Stabomancer has items such as a knife that you can throw over long distance or go into stealth mode using the...
Ghost hand.
Ghost hand. So you have the Ghost Blade and the Ghost Hand.
Watch out for those ghost hands. They'll get you.
Berserkers, on the other hand, are all about brute force, ditching out major frost-infused melee attacks. They pay their tax over the internet.
Yes, they do their online tax.
So what
return.
is this? A first-person shooter, D&D looter shooter? Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, it checks out.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about this because it's funny and I like D&D. Braden, as our resident D&D expert, What do you think?
Yeah, and when this was initially announced, I was like, okay, this is a little bit of fun for them. And like watching this right now, I'm actually like, okay, yeah, nah, like I actually really enjoyed. I think it was Borderlands 2 was the main one that I played.
Yeah, Tiny Tina had the DLC.
Yeah, and so I did enjoy that, the gameplay of it and everything, and this actually looks really fun. I like the look of it.
My only thing is, like, I really liked the DLC from Borderlands 2. I was playing that with a group of mates. We all bought the DLC. We all played it. It was the first time I'd purposely bought, like, a specific DLC pack, not just, I'll get a season pass because I might have cool things. I was like, that DLC looks awesome. Tiny Tina, awesome. I'm going to buy it. Bought it, loved it. My only concern is I don't know if I can handle an entire game of Tiny Tina because she's a little over the top and very full on.
Do you think...
Careful, 2K. Your 2K is showing.
Ooh.
Okay.
2K just having like, we've got 3 different editions you can spend super duper money on.
Yay.
How very Ubisoft of them.
Now, the DLC.
Yes.
Do you think that's basically what this game's going to be?
Yeah, because essentially what it was, the DLC, was you were playing, or they were playing a D&D campaign, and you went into the campaign and were playing the campaign, essentially.
Right.
So I assume that this was going to be. I haven't read anything that says that is or isn't what it is, but
I'm looking forward to it.
Stabbo Man just sounds like something like a class that Tiny Tina would come up with.
Yeah.
Sneaky knife daddy.
So,
yeah. Knife to meet you.
I assume Tiny Tina will be the DM and narrating over it as you progress through.
That's how it was last time. I mean, that's what makes me concerned because she's very full on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tiny Tina's a lot. Ashley Birch nails the character.
Yeah.
To the point where
Perfectly.
it's kind of too much.
Really?
Ben, I implore you after this
Don't
to
get me
watch
wrong.
a clip of what Tiny Tina sounds like and try to watch a minute and a half of it.
It is
I know what she
awesome.
sounds like.
It's really well done. It is awesome. I don't know if a whole game is for me for that.
I was actually just thrown that Braden said it was Ashley Birch.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Which also explains a little bit of Borderlands 2 with another Birch.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. But
It's all connected.
there you go. The numbers, what do they mean? I forgot what I was going to say now. Shit.
Well, it's coming
Stuff
out.
and things.
What, March
Oh,
22nd?
that was it. I can't imagine this will be an incredibly large game.
No.
I imagine this will maybe be like a 12 to 15 hour campaign. Maybe
That would be perfect, actually.
Yeah, that's what
I'd kind of like it if you can just go in and change up the campaign and have an almost different game, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like the different.
If like roles change,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a game developer, and I have no idea how games are made. But if they could do that, that'd be great. Like an actual game that is a D&D game that changes. Oh, I've said that. So it's coming out March 22nd next year. But things that aren't coming out next year are games that are already out.
And coming out. Nope, already out.
Already out because they've all got scores. So because it's been a slow news week, I decided that we'd sit down and have a look at what we think might be Game of the Year.
So far,
Because we're 3/4 of the way through the year. What perfect time at the old 75 percentile mark to have a look at the games
my favourite percent.
that came out and what is going to be grabbing that Game of the Year chalice. So, of course, COVID has delayed many games until February next year when everyone decided all their games would come out.
You know what? I don't know if it's just COVID. I think we've also hit that point with Cyberpunk that everyone's okay with delaying games now.
Really?
For the most part.
For the most part?
I think it's getting more and more common for it to be okay.
Just today, CD Projekt Red announced that Cyberpunk PS5 is not coming out until next year now.
Yeah,
Wow.
cool.
Didn't you hear that, Braden?
I did not.
Along with The Witcher.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
God,
Yeah.
that game is
You know what?
screwed.
Cool. Good on them.
Well,
Good on them for taking the time they need.
they couldn't mess it up much worse.
Yeah, true.
So I have no problem with that. That was good. If they put it out again and it was fucked, man.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I mean, the game itself, the 2 hours that I played on stream, I found it quite empty.
Having said that, I mean, I've played it for a couple of hours. I was playing on PS5, had no problems.
Yeah.
I waited a long time when it was patched and shit.
Oh, same here. Like, I only played it a couple of weeks ago, and there were little glitches like text over each other and like NPCs being in one area, then you travel to a different part of the city and they're there again as a different character, like that sort of stuff.
That just sounds like a normal Bethesda game, mate.
But like the whole area, it's not a Bethesda game though. So Bethesda has that.
That's what I
glitch
mean.
charm.
It sounds like it. Oh, does it?
But the city, which was supposed to feel vibrant and alive, was just empty.
Yeah.
There's like 2 people on the street. Anyway, I went to Open Critic because that's where our Fantasy League scores come from.
We don't talk about that.
We specifically do talk about that.
We
Not anymore, we don't.
We will be talking about that as the time draws near. But I will say that a winner has been decided in the Patreon Hack the Dino Fantasy League. We'll reveal that winner towards the end of the year. Congratulations, you know who you are. You're in the chat right now. Well done. The host league is up for grabs.
No, it's not.
Well, between Braden and I, it is.
Yeah.
Braden and I are still teetering like this. I think you got another.
Yeah, I got
80.
some more points, so it actually meant that I was a couple points ahead, even with you stealing Deathloop.
Ooh.
Anyway, so the
happens to
game's
be.
coming been out this year. Let's not talk about Fantasy Critic.
If you'd like to follow our Fantasy Critic, head on over to bit.ly/Dino Critic. Number
deleted
10. I've got 10 of the top 10 console-related games for this. I'm all out of sorts tonight. Number 10 is Deathloop with an 88. All these scores are pretty much the same.
Have you played Deathloop?
I've not played Deathloop yet.
Me neither.
Oh, good. Braden?
I cannot recommend highly enough the best video and discussion I've seen on Deathloop so far. It's on Nerd Cube's YouTube channel. It's a Let's Play video that he does, in which if you get about 5-6 minutes in and you're like, God, this is a really basic video, the next minute is where you go, oh, that's what this video is. And then you can just enjoy the ride. I highly recommend it. Everyone go check it out.
What was... Okay. Cool.
I'll give you a hint. The game's called Deathloop.
Cool.
Is that like a hula hoop?
Yeah, definitely. That's
All right, number 9.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Just run straight through it. Go for it, Floppy.
Number 9, we got a 2021 remaster of Quake.
Scoring.
88 again.
So same as Deathloop.
God damn.
So that begs the question, should remakes and remasters be allowed?
If I was making the rules, I'd say remakes, yes. Remasters, no.
Yeah, I am of the similar. So remakes, you're actually creating a whole new game. Remasters, you're sort of just up-resing it and
Just
adapting the control spread.
yeah, coat of paint and whatnot.
Braden, you ever played Quake?
I've never played it, but I've seen footage of it before, and seeing it up-res like this, and it's still just, I can't play this game. It's just so friggin' quick.
What we're
I
looking
grew
at
up
now,
playing this.
yeah, what we're looking at now is how I remember Quake looking.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see what it actually looked like.
Oh, that's the best thing. Nostalgia will make you think that things look so good.
All right, well, now I'm bringing it up.
No,
No, don't do it.
Why would you do that,
don't
Braden?
do this. It's like you might as well just look up GoldenEye.
But that's where rocket jumping first came from.
Yeah.
And the titular Rocket Jump Productions.
Limited Run have a really awesome
Physical edition.
physical edition of this in a big crate. Looks sick. I'm contemplating it.
Do it. When do pre-orders end?
I don't know.
See, look at that. Perfect. Just squint your eyes.
Yep, crisp.
But
And
I mean, I
bump
also
up
have a
your res.
nostalgic connection to that because of Doom and all those things from Wolfenstein. But yeah.
Anto is saying that it looks barely any different. It looks
Well,
the
he's
exact
correct. Well done, Anto. That's why you're here. Coming in at number
Oh,
8.
that's fucking harsh, man. Did you, Anto? Are you okay with those 17 knives that just got stuck in your back? Fucking hell!
If they don't impact my vision to appreciate 8-bit video games or worse.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, it's a distraction. Number 8 is Death's Door.
I'd never heard of this.
Really? We've talked about this on the show. What the hell are you doing?
I know. I just like raising him up now.
The bird one.
You wait till we get to one of the other ones, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a magpie. It's clearly a magpie. It's an Australian studio. But yeah, it's got an 88. I haven't played it. Very Zelda-like it's been compared to.
Okay.
Cool little game. I've not played it. It's on my list to play eventually.
How
but,
much is it?
It's like $60.
What did it score?
88.
88. Again.
They're
all
88.
88s.
Spoiler alert, they've all got 88 and 89. All right, that's just how Open Critic works. So that got 88.
Bird Hades,
don't-
apparently.
Bird Hades.
It's
That's
bird
what Game Boy
Hades.
Dad said. It's Bird Hades.
Cool. Well, now I want to play it even more.
Look
I
at
like
it's got
the-
an umbrella.
I like the depth perception in it, like the focal point and stuff. That looks cool.
Braden, you haven't played this, have you?
No, I have not, but I just enjoy watching the animation of it walking around with the umbrella.
Yeah.
One of my friends the other day bought a game called Ultimate Horse Chicken Horse or something. It's weird. You should probably like it. Look at it. It's not going to make this list.
What's number 7, Floppy?
Number 7, Number 7 is Metroid Dread with 88 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Metroid Dread. We've all heard my opinion on Metroid Dread. Anto, I think, shares my opinion of it being awesome, and it is definitely going to be considered as one of my game of the year so far.
A lot of people have said that, and again, just Nintendo never wanted to make Metroid games because they don't sell well in Japan and sell
Why don't they
moderately
sell well?
okay in the Americas.
Why don't they sell well in Japan? Like, is there a reason?
Just don't know. Just never took. But now Metroid Dread has been the top seller each week since it's come out.
Yeah.
And making incredible amounts of money for them. So I don't think this is the end of the series. While it's an ending of a story, I don't think it's the end of a series.
Yeah, I'd be surprised it's done so well. It's so clean. It's so, yeah. You can't stop it there.
All right, number 6, also with an 88, is Monster Hunter Rise. Floppy, you play all the Monster Hunter games. Tell us about Monster Hunter Rise.
I think I told you I want to play all the Monster Hunter.
You own all of them.
And never ever play them. I always pick them up thinking I will, and then I realize how much of a time sink they are. I never have the balls to do it.
So Monster Hunter, you hunt monsters.
To kill them, to get parts of them, to upgrade your weapons, to be able to hunt the bigger monsters, to be able to kill them, to get parts from them, to be able to upgrade your weapons, to be able to kill bigger monsters. Do you want me to keep going?
I have heard that this is what the like Monster Hunter is basically what the new Pokemon's going to be like.
Yes, correct. That's right. You kill the Pokemon now.
Uh-oh.
Also, if you have a PlayStation 4 or 5 copy of Monster Hunter, you can play as Ryu or as Akuma.
Ryu?
Yeah,
I
Ryu and
didn't know
Akuma, and Aloy, I think, was in one of them as well.
I knew Aloy
And Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They come with their moves as well. Like, they all do Hadoukens and
They
all
all
that
do
sort of fun
Hadoukens
stuff.
or just Ryu?
Aloy does Hadoukens. It's
Yep.
sick.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Where are we to? Number 5. So number 5, we've got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, also 88. Braden, did you want to throw some comments on... Is this going to be your game of the year?
Oh yeah, baby.
I honestly think this will be Game of the Year.
I can see it topping a lot of lists, especially depending on how the next month and a half goes. But yeah, I just this game is just so well polished. It's just so much fun. The worlds are so interesting. The characters are fun to interact with. The writing's fun. The worlds are amazing. The gameplay is tried and true, classic Ratchet and Clank. It's visually just freaking stunning. And it shows off what the PS5 is capable of. I think it ticks all the boxes.
I'm with you on every part of that. I think this week, if you ask me right now, I've got Metroid above it though.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can't put it down, man.
But do you think that'll sort of continue on? With
I
that?
don't know. That's why I said this week.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
This week I'm sitting on Metroid. Who knows?
Who knows what it is next time?
Yeah.
Stay tuned next fortnight where we discover what Floppy's playing and thinks is great next.
Yeah.
Speaking of great, It Takes Two got an 89 and is now number 4 top game of the year. Now, It Takes Two was, what's his name? Joseph, the guy who said fuck the Oscars at the Game Awards. And did, anyway, it's a 2-player couch co-op game where families, mum and a dad are going through a divorce, so the little kid wishes that her dolls, who are representations of her parents, got along, and then you're playing those dolls in a fantasy world in a co-op to finish the story.
Man, that's actually adorable.
Yeah, everyone who's played it said it's a great game. The creator has come out and said that it's proof that people still want 2-player couch co-op games, which I think is yes, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. You know how many people I have asked me for couch co-op games? And I'm like, Borderlands, Unravel.
Just come up to you in the street.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Yes, you. You with the hat.
You guy over there with the cool shirt and the nice hair. Do you like games?
The guy next to you. my beard is hair. Anyway.
Keep telling yourself that.
But yes.
It's yak
It
hair.
is.
It's stuck on.
Shit.
Was
Number
that
3.
your comment on this show? Or?
Yep. Yes, it is. We are losing it, so I just want to run through this so we can
Number
go to the
3,
ad.
we got Psychonauts 2 on the Xbox One and the X and the S with an 89. Once again, I haven't played this. Braden, you have though, haven't you?
Yes, I've played the start of it and I've watched someone else play more of it. Anto did a very excited woo as you said that this was up here. Because yeah, I would never knew about Psychonauts before this year, and I highly recommend it because it's weird as shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's very creative with what they do. And I mean, this does feel like a PS2 game, but it's part of the charm.
It's kind of, I don't
a
mind that.
sequel to a PS2 game.
That's not necessarily a bad thing if they can update control schemes and it still feels like a PS2 game. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. That's
I mean,
cool.
it's very pretty, and like I think they are some of the most creative games because I didn't think they would make a game where the level is like, oh my god, the levels in these games are so freaking weird, dude.
Was there something about a milkman or?
The Milkman
first one.
conspiracy from the first one.
Oh, okay.
In this one, there's a casino which then it becomes hospital themed, so it's a hospital casino. It's weird. It's good though.
Way of the future. Casinos everywhere for everyone. Coming in at number 2 was that classic game for the PC and Switch that everyone loved and played and enjoyed, and Floppy's going to tell us all about Buster Fellows. Floppy,
Never heard of it.
sure you have. This is one of your game of the year. Tell us about Buster Fellows.
Don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of it.
Brayden,
Anime.
Anime hair.
if you like visual novels and a bunch of protagonists that appear in every other anime game that was ever invented, then you'll like Buster Fellows, where a mysterious thing happens and it's up to you to find out what's going on in the glittering city of New Sieg.
I've seen that movie. I mean that anime. I mean that book, that comic, that game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guy from Limbo.
This, for
Okay.
some reason, is...
I've never heard of this. Like, I legit have not heard of this
No.
until I saw it there.
That's why I put it there. I went, what is this game? I haven't even looked at what it is.
Anyone in the chat, has anyone heard of Buster Fellows?
I think it's just a visual novel.
$20 of Ben's money to the first person that's actually heard of it.
Yeah, well, you have to have money to be able to send money.
So he'll give you a Pokemon game.
Floppy's Pokemon game.
No, you won't. I've only got like 3.
And number 1.
Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, or plus
No.
Bowser's Fury.
No, say it correctly.
Cross Bowser's Fury,
No,
plus Bowser's Furry.
thank you.
I freaking loved this game.
That was fun.
I had almost forgotten that I played that this year.
Oh, I should say it's fun if you don't mind playing it with your child.
Oh, I didn't play it with someone else, mate.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, I love my family.
As do I, which is why I don't play games with them. Ruins families. No, this was great. This was like fantastic, fun Mario game, and Bowser's Furry was also very, very cool, polished, great game just on its own.
Yep, agreed. I think this was a prototype for what they're going to do with the next Mario Odyssey or something.
Oh, 100%.
Can you imagine that in a larger world? They just have gated areas and then you unlock... the design was fantastic. I really loved it. Really loved it. I do not see it being the game of the year. Like,
No, I don't see.
honestly, I don't think it'll be on many people's lists for game of the year.
What? It's like 2017 game?
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought? But no one played it until 2021, so it's okay.
Yeah, fair.
One thing I don't like is Tanuki Mario doesn't have giant testicles. So there you go. Inaccurate.
What?
You seen a Tanuki? Brayden, can you
Man,
bring
you're
up
pla-
a
you're
picture
playing
of
a
a
whole
child?
Do we
nother-
really need to?
You're playing
I
a whole nother game of Animal Crossing that I don't know about.
Look up a picture of a Tanuki for me.
I'm good.
I
No,
feel
do
like
it.
we don't need to do this.
I don't need to see Tom's Nooks.
I thought it was Giga Bells, not Giga Balls.
Do you know who does need to see Tom's Nooks?
Our Patreons.
Did we update this? Like, I don't think we changed it from last time.
I don't know, but it's in the assets. But the fine people who sponsored this show.
Eye! Those little eyes! Ah! Oh! Oh my god, I love him! Oh, he's got a hat! Not the doggos! I can't even read anymore. Ah! I can't even do it anymore! I have to finish this game. I have to finish this game.
Welcome back. We're still here. Lucky you. It's all right. We've all had a deep breath. We've calmed down.
No, we haven't.
I've yelled at Braden for not pressing record. We're all good.
I had to give Braden the cloth
It's over there now.
covered in blood.
Floppy,
Yes, mate.
who else is covered with blood?
I'm not okay with this.
Jesus.
I think you're referring to our lovely Patreons,
Yep.
of who we wish to thank.
In
Not
blood.
not with blood.
Yeah.
No.
Why not? It's a good time.
No, just thank you with kind words.
Blood is the vial of life.
And, the gift of ourselves on video on demands and podcast for their ears and their eyes.
That's right. This is a Twitch exclusive. No one else sees this. So we can say whatever we want about the podcast people.
No, we would like to say thank you to our Patreons. We have a wonderful group of Patreons. If you are watching and would like to be one of those wonderful groups of Patreons, you can head over to hackthedino.com and all the information is there on the wonderful site that Ben has created, yes?
Yeah, click on the little P.
Jesus.
There are different levels of patronage.
Yeah, sure.
Thank
That's
you.
That's a word.
$1 a month. Mm-hmm. You can do $1 a month. Mm-hmm. Every little bit counts. That would be fantastic. Thank you. That
You
gets
also get access to the Patreon Discord.
to the Patreon Discord.
We need to do some special stuff for the Patreons in that Patreon Discord. It's gone a little bit quiet lately because everything's in our main channel. So
Yeah, we're right. We are.
I'm looking into ways to do like streams just for the Patreons, so they can sort of watch that, or
would be
just
cool.
different things that we can do in there. So bear with us. We're gonna boot that up.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it a fun time for all.
We do have a cool Discord. Lots of cool people in there. Lots of chats. Lots of people that share finds and game ideas. There's channels now about wrestling and TV movies and all sorts.
Yep.
Everything on there. If you would like to jump in for $2 a month, you get your name added to the scrolling list down the bottom of the show there that you can all see. Thank you to those guys. If you would like to jump in at the $10 a month, you have an exclusive extra monthly show called Dino Mall, which I believe we're filming tonight.
Yes, we are. I forgot to ask if you guys are all cool with that. But yes, we are.
Sure, because we've just announced that we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And you also get your name read out. So thank you to Karen Knight, Dylan the Villain, Triple Indy, Mike Towns, Ash Knight, Game Boy Dad.
Game Boy
and
Dad.
Hey, it's Anto.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
All right. Okay.
You started it, Floppy.
I sure did. Of course, after that, there is a $15 a month tier, which gives you a post show every week and a chance to choose a song for Braydan versus the World.
That's right.
Which I think is one of the coolest tiers to have.
It really is. Michael Towns gave me one today, to
shit.
put in it, and I just went, dude, they won't guess that. Like, you
Mate,
can't do that.
You can get the Footloose the game, and I won't get it.
Yeah, does Anto get to go over and help Floppy?
Oh, maybe.
We may or may not have discussed that on the ride here.
Wow.
Between Anto and I, then forgot about it.
Strategy.
Of course. Yeah, we were talking about cheating. And then, of course, we have our granddaddy, the $25 a month tier, where you get all of the above-mentioned stuff as well. And you get to supply us with a video of yourself. Not of yourself. That's weird. But if you have a product or a service that you'd like to sell...
Guess who's lost it now? Guess who's lost it now?
As you have seen from Game Boy Games earlier, and we will run that for you to all of our thousands upon millions of viewers.
Yeah, all two of them.
Ultimately, thank you.
Thank you.
patrons. You allowed us to keep doing the show at a semi-professional level.
But if you don't like the idea of giving money, something else we have to look into with the Patreon, you can do a yearly subscription and offer a discount. So that's coming soon as well, as soon as I remember to do that. You can head on over to hackthedino.com, and not only there can you find links to our YouTube VOD channel, you can find links to the Twitch channel, which you're all watching now, and our podcast, but also to our merch store. So if you want to support us in a monetary way, but not have a monthly fee, head on over to hackthedino.com and click on the merch button, and it will take you to our merch store where we have got some awesome merch for you to spend money on and wear. And then when people see you on the street, you go, hey, where did you get that hideous jumper? You go, oh, this is my favorite podcast. Then you can do that. But if you don't want to spend money, we can understand it's a very trying time for a lot of people. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends is the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. Tell your friends. Show them the YouTube page. Show them the Twitch. Show them the podcast. all of that, tell them, get them excited. Generally, when people watch the show, they hang around for a little bit, which is really, really nice. But it's getting the eyes on the show to start off with. So please tell your friends. That'll be awesome. We'll love you forever.
If you really want, steal their credit card details and sign up as a patron under their name.
That's fine. We can ensure that you will not be charged with any laws breaking.
Yeah, I'll use all of my judicial knowledge.
Well, we've got Attorney Hawk on our side.
Attorney Hawk,
Attorney
skateboarder
Hawk,
at law.
he's here for us. He's here and he's ready to help you.
Objection.
Dear
360
viewer.
grind.
Floppy,
Yes, mate.
you've written a little Bible.
Ooh, I have of the non-religious type.
I don't know. Some people take this particular item very seriously.
As they do a lot of. Everyone takes everything seriously, but yes,
It's true, it's
we thought. Well, yeah, I thought, but I discussed with Ben. We thought we are going to do a little buying guide, a collector's guide, possibly, or a getting started guide to the PS4.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Let's face it, you can't buy a PS5 anyway. You might as well.
Yeah, look, PS5 has been out for almost a year. It has been hit as the console that's hit 10 million units sold the quickest.
Yep, and also for the first time in 18 months, upsold the Switch. Upsold?
Upsold?
Whatever.
Over
I was-
upselled?
Anyway, the Switch is no longer number one
Nah.
seller.
PS5 got it. But yeah, if you like to stay a generation behind, which a lot of people do, and take advantage of the cheaper consoles when they come, not always having to have the newest stuff, which is a very smart way to do it, actually, if you're not idiots like us. You can jump on a generation behind. There's quite affordable now. The games, cheap.
God of War's like $19.
Everywhere. And second-hand consoles are everywhere at the moment, and they're getting really affordable, even for the PS4 Pro, which is we're going to go through the different models. So yeah, we thought we'd go through the different versions of the consoles, some accessories that we think, day one you should probably get this stuff, or you could get this stuff, and then some our sort of picks of must-play games. We
Cool.
think. So we'll start off with the different models. So the very first model of the PS4 came out in November 2013. Came out as a 500 gig model. There was also later a 1 terabyte model. It was pretty cool. Like, it looked cool. It was a black box, but it didn't have
Cool black box.
It was a
Nothing
cool
I like
black box.
more than black boxes.
You know what? I think it looked cooler than the PS3.
Yeah, but look at that cool thing under my under the TV now.
The PS5.
That PS5
We're
is
not
a
talking about the
thing of
PS5.
beauty.
Look at that. I like that it went with the sort of the matte finish as well as the shiny finish that they had in the PS2s. It fit under your count. Like, this is stupid, but it fit under your in your entertainment unit easily.
It fit wherever you wanted it to go.
It fit wherever you wanted it. You could have it vertically, have it horizontally. They made it so that you can pop that shiny part off, and you could actually change the hard drive.
Which I did straight away.
Yeah, they made it accessible to change the hard drive, which I think was a really cool, consumer-friendly move.
Well, thank goodness they kept that up.
Yeah. At least they did it on one of them. They had optical digital out, which is very cool because they didn't continue that either. So for the people that like to have cool surround sound systems and stuff like that, they had lots of cool audio outputs and HDMI and all the jam in there, which is very cool. Now, after that one, as they do with most of the consoles, a couple of years later, 2016, September, they came out with the PS4 Slim. So specs wise, exactly the same. Same capabilities, same processing power, all of that. They pulled it down to something like a 40% smaller, I think it was. That could be a number that I pulled out of my ass. Just saying. Nice rounded corners, made it a little more streamlined. They did lose
Well,
the...
you wanted to have nice rounded corners if you were pulling it out your ass.
Oh, yes, and lube, always time for lube. They did get rid of the optical digital cable.
Guys, you're making Mark Spencer nervous.
He does that himself. Yeah, same thing they did with everything. They made it smaller, they brought it out, looks sleeker, looks nicer, does the same thing. Very cool. Nice little middle range. If you were going to buy one at that point in time, you'd probably get that one. Right now, if you were going to buy one you don't care about 4K, I would pick up a Slim model because they're not as old as the original. That's the only reason.
And they don't sound like a freight carrier.
They don't sound like an aircraft trying to take off in your land.
And you're like, guys,
Pinky
I'm
much?
just trying to load up the PlayStation Store.
And then after that one, later in 2016, so it wasn't much later, it was only a couple of months later, they released the Pro model. So this only came out in 1 terabyte. It is ready for 4K gaming and 4K streaming but no 4K Blu-ray player, which was weird considering Sony invented the Blu-ray.
Do they have 4K Blu-ray players now?
In the PS5.
In your
yeah.
PS5.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, they had to save something. didn't
And I don't want to mention it in this section, but another competing console had 4K Blu-ray player.
That's right. The
Which was
Nintendo Wii U.
Yeah, weird. So this thing, they upgraded the GPU, they upgraded the CPU, so things look better, things ran faster. It was a lot better for VR if you want to get into VR. It runs, better frame rates and things like that. So
I
everything
played
looked a bit-
VR once, and it was with you guys at Dan's that time.
Yes, you
where I
loved
almost
it.
knocked you out.
Yeah, that was you fucking went way too. You got into that shit.
Well, because, I do karate. So doing
what?
VR. I do karate, Brad.
Did you not know that he likes karate?
Whoa.
I'm a second Dan. As opposed to our first Dan, who's dead. May him rest in peace.
Never,
Every time.
Never. It cuts a little bit every time.
Every time.
That's funny, because that's what happened to Dan.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, basically, if you're going to go, I'm going to cut you off.
Okay.
If you're going to go for a second-hand one now, if you've got 4K TV, then you want to go a Pro. Do keep them clean because the fans sound real loud.
Yep. I do.
Or if you're not worried about 4K, the slim models are great. They're smaller, they're a little bit nicer to look at, and they're not as old. But there are also limited edition consoles. Sony do like their limited edition consoles.
Oh, man, and aren't they pretty?
They make so many pretty ones. Now, we've got some images to bring up. Yeah, Braden?
Yo.
So if we're looking at the original models, there was some very cool one. Uncharted console. So the Uncharted console, that's the original model. Unfortunately, a lot of their stuff, when you're lying down, you can't see the prints on the top, which kind of sucks.
I had the Darth Vader Star Wars Battlefront console.
Yes.
Same thing. Like, it's got this really cool picture of...
So that's not that one. That's a Pro model.
Yeah, no, it's just Darth Vader's head on the side.
got
It's just Darth Vader's. It's a shiny one with Darth Vader's head.
But the controller is really cool. It's got the Star Wars logo on the printout and like different color buttons.
Yeah,
It's
the
really-
controllers.
really
The
nice.
controllers were always cool when they because they matched them up to the limited edition consoles. Looks great. There was a Metal Gear Solid one, which was kind of maroon colored
Yep,
one. I don't know
yep,
if we can bring that one
was
up.
really cool.
There's that one.
That's
That's
the one I've
that's
got.
the Star Wars one. So
Yep.
Darth Vader's head on there, and the wicked looking controller.
Oh, Spider-Man one. Oh, what was that one? What was the briefcase
So
one?
we'll
Getting
get
there,
there.
getting
That's the Metal Gear Solid one. It's got this steel grey controller which had Foxhound logo on there, I think, and yeah, the nice maroon. With
Foxhound
yellow
or
stripe.
Diamond Dogs?
Diamond Dog.
Diamond Dogs.
Diamond
sorry.
Dogs.
Diamond Dogs, because it's from Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes.
That is the limited edition Hitman.
That's cool as hell.
Hitman character. I think it was Hitman 1.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, it doesn't say Absolution on it or anything.
No,
When-
Absolution
when
was an old one.
When was this
360.
available?
Hitman 2, sorry. I don't think it was very available, like, retail.
That's awesome.
I want to say it was direct from possibly developers.
So for the podcast listeners, it is basically a PS4 that looks like a briefcase.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
It's got a
Wow.
GameCube handle.
It's got a
Yeah.
GameCube handle. Yeah.
See, Sony once again stealing Nintendo's ideas.
What else have we got? So this is a PS4 Pro. This is probably one of the coolest looking PS4 Pros with the Spider-Man
Spidey,
one.
yeah.
That is unreal. And it's a really nice matte finish. That's the $500 million one. So it's the nice blue
Was
with the
that-
gold PlayStation logo. When
What
they
was the
sold
Days of Play one?
Days of Play was a different one. That one was the 500 million when they sold 500 million
Right.
PlayStations.
Right.
I can't remember what the Days of Play. I think they had tiny little PlayStation
Logos?
symbols all
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, the Sacred Single. symbols.
That is the okay. So we got the PlayStation Pro Death Stranding
I wish
edition.
I bought this.
Looks amazing. So one of my mates and a neighbor has this one too. So the controller for the podcast listeners is translucent yellow
Like the amber fluid of BB.
of BB, the you carry on the chest in the game, and the console itself is the top tier and the bottom tier are white. Black. The middle tier is black, and then it's got the handprints of I can't remember the creatures that appear in the game that come out of the. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, they're
But
called
anyway.
the scary fuckers.
Yes, the scary fucker's got like the handprints on there. It's so sick. It looks so good. Do we have? Yep, there's another original one that's Call of Duty Black Ops 3 with a really nice, so that actually really nice like a neon orange
Don't like
outline. No,
No, not a
Yeah,
fan.
don't have
Too
to.
garish.
Too garish. Anyway, so we've seen okay. So this is my favorite one because this was my first PS4 and it was the Batman Arkham Asylum.
Do you still have this one?
No,
Oh, floppy.
no. Well, I wasn't at a point. I had to trade it up to get my new one.
No, fair enough.
But it's very cool. So it's got a nice little Batman silhouette. It's just, it's real pretty. Nice silver looking thing. Yeah, it's good. Anyway, so that's kind of a good look at the three consoles that they brought out and the different ones. Then it comes to accessories. Now, there's not that many accessories or weird peripherals for the PS4.
Oh, because they are sensible and don't waste their money on
Yeah.
stupid bullshit.
No fishing rod.
No
peripherals.
sniper rifles.
So first one is a DualShock 4 controller. Now, if you're going to get one with your console, hopefully get two.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. A, there are still some couch co-op games. And B, they have a giant light bar on them that sucks the power. You can go in, adjust the settings and the version 2 controllers, which I don't think you can tell by looking at them, or there is a little bit of a light bar difference. It doesn't use as much power on the light bar. The light bar is very cool. Like, it differentiates players in the game. So first player, second player, third player. It will also change depending on what's happening in the game. Sometimes some games will turn it red when you die, things like that, or your health is low, things like that. So it has purpose and it is very cool. It is also for like motion tracking and stuff like that. It has
Was it for use for the VR as well? If you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have
So
move
yeah,
controls?
motion control.
Yep.
The camera tracks it. Tracks the light bar. It has the first one that's had a touchpad on there.
Yeah, useless. No one uses it.
Look, it's good as a multi button, so you can use it, touch it in the four corners, and they could be mapped to different buttons and different things, or you could swipe it for doing other things. Astro's Playroom used it well, but that was about it.
It's
it
a
does
big
have
map button.
Yeah, it's a mappable button. There you go, mouse pointer in Final Fantasy 14. It also has a speaker on the controller, which was very, very cool.
Nintendo did it first with the Famicom, mate.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
And they didn't do it again until the Wii, did they?
No.
But it was very cool. So it was one of the coolest things was I got I was in a game, I can't remember what game it was, but I got a mobile phone call. And the sound for the mobile phone call, instead of coming over my speakers, came through my controller. And that spun me out, and that was really cool.
I do remember the first time I was playing a game and that happened, and I kind of shat myself for a second.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I really liked that. And it also had the share button. It was the first time they had a share button on there. So
Share button's good.
instead of going options and start buttons like the old ones, they had like an options button, which was select and start. They had options, which covered both of that. And then they had a share button, which allowed you to take screenshots straight away, upload some footage, record some video, all that depending on how long you press, or a single press, or a three press, or hold your button down. Very cool, very easy to use. And colors. So many colors. All up, 32 colors.
Of controllers.
Of controllers. I'm a bit of a sucker for them, and I've brought some to show you.
All right.
I've got some of mine. So,
All right, so Floppy's leaning over. He's grabbing some.
first of all, I've got my God of War controller.
Oh, that's nice.
You want to hold them? I'll
Yep.
pass them to you. So it's got little God of War, like one of the runes on the whatever you call that hand part there, and on the touchpad it says God of War.
That looks great.
That came with a God of War Pro console. I've just got the controller because you could also get them separately. That's the other cool thing they do is they quite often release the controllers from the consoles separately, so you can buy one if you just want that. That's really cool. Next one I've got is just a really nice color. It's platinum. So it's kind of like a metallic-y blue silver. I don't know how it's going to show up on
It's the Metallica console.
Metallica console. I like that. It just looks pretty. I'm a sucker for colours. Then I have... Now, I think this is called Very Berry or Berry Cherry or
This is
something like
awful.
that. Nah. It's blue and like a maroon.
It's like a baby sky blue, and
It's like a baby's vomited.
Oh,
and how would you describe the maroony burgundy red?
I'd call it baby blood.
Jesus.
the next one is my second favourite controller.
Oh, Afronix loves the berry one.
Is Sunset Orange.
It's the Goku controller.
Bright orange and blue. I love it.
Dragon.
It's so good.
Rock the dragon.
Dragon Ball Z.
It is a crime that you couldn't natively play Sunset Overdrive with that
I
controller.
know, right? But my favourite controller of my PlayStation 4 is the 20th anniversary controller.
Oh, baby.
So
this
this was
is nice.
Yeah, so this is modelled after the original PlayStation. So it's got the same kind of grey colour scheme. It's got the little PlayStation coloured logo on your start button there. It is beautiful. I love it. There was a console for this. I don't think we got it here. Or we
I
did.
don't think the
No, It
console.
was very, very limited. You can
It
see
was-
that I've
it was
used it
very-
a lot because it's rubbed off the serial number.
It was very, very limited. I know one person in real life who has one.
Yes. The other cool thing that I've got that goes with this, which I'll be touching on next, or in a minute, is I got the matching camera. Now, I had never seen this up for sale on retail, and I found it in a second-hand store. And I've got the PlayStation 1 version 1 camera with, on the end where the cable is
That is really, really cool.
is the PlayStation symbol. Now, I've only ever seen these in black before. I've never seen another one that's coloured.
I honestly, I've never seen one in my travels either. I'd be interested to see how much these go for.
Priceless, not getting it. Yeah.
But just out of curiosity, because like it had a very limited run, and I can't imagine many people picked up the PlayStation controller, and then went, "Oh yeah, chuck in that camera
camera as well. Yeah, I can't imagine it too. But yeah, that's controllers. So the next accessory that I've gone for, that I think anyone should have, once you get a second controller, grab yourself a dual charging system of some some brand, where you can get a Sony one, where you can get a third party, get a dual charging station. You're plugged into your wall, so it's not plugged into your console. So all of your chargers, all your controllers charge as soon as you go touch them. It's great. You don't have to have your console on. No cables hanging across the floor. And like I said before, these things do go through batteries. So
chew through them.
Yeah, get one of those. The PlayStation 4 camera, as we just saw, that was a version 1. There is a version 2, which is a cylindrical one and like a adjustable stand. They're not necessary, but they are cool fun. Essential if you're going to get VR. But they also gave you, some facial recognition sign-in stuff. Voice commands, so you could, PlayStation on, PlayStation Play. This kind of like what you would do for your Google apps and things like that. Not necessary, but cool if you want to go for that whole sort of set. There you go. And the next one was much better because you can mount it on the top of your TV with like.
Could you still do that face scanning thing? I thought they got rid of that.
I think they got rid of that with the version 2.
Yeah, wonder why. Defamation.
And there is Sony VR. Now, VR is not for everyone.
It's not VR good.
Oh, no, it's very good. So Sony brought out what I think is the most affordable and best way to get into VR.
I got to agree. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I have often seen these in secondhand stores and gone...
Yeah, you'll pick one up for like $250.
Yeah, I'm kind of... Because I had so much fun playing Super Hot. But then I worry, if I'm playing it in my house by myself, you've seen me move.
You need to learn to stand still.
But I can't help because you're so immersed and someone comes at you, just goes...
This dude almost
bang.
like fly kicked me in the face. But look, Sony VR is great. VR is great. Sony, people rag on it a bit for being a little bit lower res and things like that. But you know what? It's cool. It's like a third of the price of a high-end VR.
Like the
and
Oculus
it connects.
Quest.
Yeah, and you don't need a $3,000 PC to run it. I love it. I have a lot of fun with VR. There's not many games I can't play. If you are going to go for the VR, you do need the camera. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a really good idea to get the motion controllers, which are like little
Move controllers.
Yeah, the Move ones that you had on the PS3 as well. Because there are some games that need them, and some games are just better.
See, I don't know whether to get one now because it's going to be cheap, or wait for the PS5 VR update that is in production.
You can use this VR with your PS5. The bundles that you buy now that are brand new come with an adapter, so you can use them on your PS5 and your PS4.
Right.
Or
what if you get a second-hand?
If you get a second-hand one, you can write away to Sony, and they will send you an adapter. I don't know if they're still doing that because they're bundling them with the new ones now. But yeah.
Be sucky if you couldn't.
And that's pretty much it for hardware. There were other little things like you could buy back buttons to attach to your, like mappable buttons to attach to your back of your DualShocks and things like that. Some people use them, some people don't.
A lot of Fortnite players use them.
Mappable buttons for things like that. I've never used one. I don't see the benefits in me because I'm not good enough at Fortnite.
No, you are not.
Which brings us to games. Now, if you're going to buy a PS4...
Fortnite!
Don't buy it. You can get it on whatever. You can play it on your tablet. If you're going to buy a PS4...
But not the Apple Store.
Not the Apple Store. No, you can't do it at the Apple Store. We have a bunch of games that we think are must-plays for PlayStation games because they're all PlayStation exclusives. You can't play them anywhere else. Mm-hmm. This is in no particular order either. Just get them all. And a lot of these are of the PlayStation Hits collection, so you can buy them brand new for like $25.
Yep, very cheap.
Super cheap. So first one off the ranks is God of War. Braden.
Yo.
You want to talk about God of War?
God of War is fantastic. I highly implore everyone check it out. The world is incredible. The acting is fantastic. The single camera shot, no cutting, is a feat which is just incredible. It's absolute like movie game development magic. And the gameplay is really, really satisfying. That axe just feels perfect.
Yeah, everyone should play God of War. No, after that one, I got Horizon Zero Dawn. So these are all PlayStation exclusives. Horizon Zero Dawn, my game of the year of that year that it came out, which was 2016, I think.
17?
17?
Came out
2017?
a couple of months before the actual game of the year.
Yeah, and got overshadowed a little bit. Great story, great characters, great writing, amazing visuals, really cool gameplay. I love the world's been taken back by nature, but then and people have gone back to nomadic tribes, but then these mechanical beasts and dinosaurs and animals. It's just it is unreal, and they've got the sequel finally coming out beginning of next year. So yeah, this is a must play, I think, for anyone that likes an open world sort of style of RPG, and that's not super overwhelming. Like, you don't have to put 100 hours in. You can, but I think I all up put probably about 30 into this and finished this mostly. So it's an achievable one as well. Really cool. Really cool weapons in there. Really cool use of all the different weapons. You don't just get stuck to one kind. I think it was really well designed, really well balanced. Yeah. Next one is, I think everyone knew this was coming, Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
You want to take us down?
Yeah, Brad and I will talk about this one.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man's great. Puddles,
That's it. Done.
That's it, done.
The puddles leave a lot to be desired, but
Puddle Gate.
no, this game's fantastic. It really encapsulates Spider-Man, the feel of Spider-Man, the character of Spider-Man, feeling like Spider-Man, swinging around the city, picking up criminals, spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies.
Look out.
What the
That was a great throw.
Spider-Man PS4 is amazing. Like, I replayed it recently when Miles Morales came out on the PS5, and I played the remastered version, and like, even though I knew everything that happened in the
You've
game,
unmasked him.
it's amazing, and it's so well done. It's spectacular. It's
Amazing. It's fantastic.
It's
It's so fluid. Like, it's the combat in this is like the Batman Arkham games, but then better.
yeah.
Look, let's be honest. The MJ stealth mission levels are a bit...
Oh, but every game has a little bit of a weak point, doesn't it?
Yeah, but these games are great, especially the Miles Morales game as well. Nice, short little game. Hell of a lot of fun.
So excited for 2.
Oh, yeah. Brendan, did you hear about the rumours that you'll be able to switch between Peter or Miles and it won't affect the story at all?
Oh, I'm so here for that.
So you can just change. Bum, 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 bum.
Good. Oh my god.
That'd be great.
I can't wait.
All right, we also have, Ben, this is going to be yours, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, it's all right. No, it's a great game. It's a game that, I don't know if this makes sense, but I love playing it so much, I have to be in a certain mood in order to sit down and play it.
No, I get that.
Like,
100%.
I don't want to go, oh yeah, but guess I better slug through that. I want to go, no, I'm ready to go back into this beautiful, amazing world where the music is a character, the scenery, the island itself is a character. God damn it, I love this game. It is perfect. Put it on baby mode and just enjoy it. That's all I can say.
Also, if you want bang for your buck, this game is freaking huge. There's
Oh, yeah.
so much you can do with
Just
it.
the base game. Then you get like the
Yep.
raid, the big raid demon battle. And then if you got the director's cut on PlayStation 5, you've got another island off to the side of that.
There's a lot there.
Wow.
Like, the game's already massive, so...
Yeah, it's and the sword fighting is
I think when back in the day when Dan was still around and alive, he would talk about the particle effects in this, and that you're running through like a forest, and every single little petal or leaf is not like a mass-produced sort of mapped effect. It's every single one has its own path and its own sort of little programmed course that it takes. It's unreal.
I was reading the other day as well, the leaves that fall to the ground in some
Yeah.
areas, they're actually leaves from Okinawa that they scanned and then put into the game.
Far out.
And they did little things like they got someone who is a Japanese language expert and made sure all the signs that you see with Japanese writing on it or scripture is of the correct time period, because obviously language evolves.
That's
Yeah, of course.
cool.
So they went back and went through all of that and did that. Just the attention to detail is fantastic. All right, it's a small island and you go through every season in this small island. So that's a little bit unrealistic, but it's a video game. Just back off, all right? Calm down. I was actually at this the other day, this very level.
Did you do it that well?
No, I did it better. I stealthed them.
Oh, nice.
Because I did it a couple of times and they absolutely owned me. That's the only time I stealth it. Because usually, that's the other thing I love about this game. You can choose to be an honorable samurai or you can be a sneaky stealth guy. So I walk up and just press, you're walking in, and once you get in range, you can choose to press a button, and then Jin barks out a command in Japanese going, come on, come and fight me. And then they all encircle you and you can take them all out like in a samurai film. Or you can go around being stealthy and that'll determine what attributes your character can buff quicker. Whether you're the honorable samurai and have power and strength and parrying, or the ninja where you're throwing smoke bombs and everything.
Every time I have a choice, no matter what game it is, I'll try stealth.
Yep.
Until the inevitable happens and I get seen and I'm like, fuck it, minigun.
Yep. And then just little things as well.
Bazooka.
Like once you down an opponent, if you swipe down on the touchpad, Jin bows.
Oh.
Like he does this little bow out of respect. And then you can do other little things like swipe across and he gets his sword and wipes the sword on his sleeve.
That's
get
the
the
best
blood
one.
out.
Good use of the touchpad.
Oh, but the only game.
I'm going to breeze through a couple.
All right, yeah, we're running a bit late.
Till we get to some that we want to talk about more. So there's the Uncharted series. We saw the trailer earlier in the game, but the Uncharted series, so you can buy the Nathan Drake collection, which has Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 remastered. Mm-hmm. They just look a bit cleaner. And then there's Uncharted 4, which was made for the PS4. Beautiful game. Actually, first game that I ever took screenshots of in the photo mode because the vistas were so beautiful. It was unreal. A lot of fun. There is also Lost Legacy, which is a spin-off title with a couple of other characters from in the games. But the Uncharted series is a really cool story, really cool characters, lots of fun. It's basically Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider rolled into one.
Or Indiana Jones.
Or just Indiana Jones. But yeah, really cool. Same as the Last of Us games. So everyone knows The Last of Us. Everyone's heard of The Last of Us. The original Last of Us came out on PS3, was remastered for PS4. Play it on the PS4. It looks amazing. And then they released Last of Us Part 2, which did a lot of... touched a lot of subjects that...
It's the best golf sim you could hope to buy.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Anto
You want a good golf sim?
Lost it at that one.
Yep.
I haven't played Part 2 yet.
No?
No, I haven't. It's been on the pile.
Look
pile of shame.
forward to it.
All right, I will. Okay. Next one is Days Gone. Now, Days Gone, I think, is criminally underrated.
It got a lot of really bad raps.
And I don't understand why.
I think unjustly.
I think so too. It came out, I can't remember what it came out around, but it just got forgotten. This game is great. The mechanics, the driving mechanics of your motorbike and everything, awesome. The upgrading of your abilities, the uncovering of the map areas and the missions, fantastic. The story's really cool. It's a zombie thing. If you're not into zombie things, don't play it. There are hordes in this thing.
It got a bad rap because people were just sick of zombies.
Yeah, look, that might be a bit of it. I'm not really sure because I think the zombies in this are treated a bit different. They're not just mindless, slow-moving zombies. There are those ones and they're pretty easy to take out. But then there are like the hordes that come across, which are just fucking terrifying and anxiety-inducing, but in short bursts, so you don't get sick of them and you don't feel too overwhelmed. Like, it is a great game, and I think everyone should check this out. If you're a zombie or a sort of horror fan, just an open-world RPG. Imagine The Witcher, but in modern times and with zombies instead of monsters.
We Are Robots in the chat has said that he thinks that it was quite broken at launch. Now, I can't remember that precisely.
No, I don't. So I picked this up on launch day and never had an issue, but I was playing on a Pro, maybe that was it.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Days Gone is a great game and it's super cheap. You can get it everywhere.
Where'd they go?
Next one is not going to be for everyone, but I highly recommend it if you like story-driven narrative and nostalgic horror films. Check out Until Dawn. So Until Dawn is not by no means an action game at all. It moves a hell of a lot slower. You need to have patience. It is all about choice and consequence and unraveling really cool story.
Kind of like an Alan Wake?
Very much like an Alan Wake. There are some actors in there that you'll know even more so now. The guy that played Rami Malek, who played Freddie Mercury in the Bohemian Rhapsody, he's in this. Hayden Panettiere, I think her name is, from Heroes, is in this as well.
Yep.
And I can never remember, this older guy who always plays a Russian mob guy in every film is in it as well. It's basically the story of an 80s sort of horror film. It's got all the tropes in there. Teenagers, or late teens, early 20s, going to a ski resort at night time on top of a snowy mountain in a storm with no power and a cable car breaks. Like every single reason you can have to have a horror film is in it.
Sexy time?
There is sexy time. It is great. It is awesome. I've played it through a number of times. The first time I only got 2 people out alive. The second time I played through, even knowing what was happening, I really enjoyed it because I made different choices.
So what's the gameplay like? Like you just mentioned, Ben, you get people out alive.
Yep. So you'll walk around. There will be some quick time events. There will be some decision-based sort of conversations and things like that. Then you also do have some exploring, some finding of clues, and there are totems that are in there as well. Yeah, look, it's just a lot of fun. It's great to do with a group of people because you can all have a bit of input, not just the person controlling them as well.
Didn't they have a party mode type thing?
Yeah, where you could... Oh, that was more Man of Medan, which was the same developers that went on to do the Dark Pictures anthology.
Yep.
Where you could sort of assign people to characters, and they did it in Hidden Agenda as well. And then you would pass the controller.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, if you like horror films, check it out. It's really well done, really well written. I dug it a lot. Last one for our must-play games is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, I got Anto to send me off with some comments on this. I'll just read them out.
Yep.
Or would you like to read them out?
I mean, I can just talk about it if you like.
How about, we're running low on time. How about I just read them out and credit you? Because I know you love this game so much. We'll be here tomorrow. So he's written, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a lovingly crafted retelling of the first part of the PlayStation 1 original, but with an added twist or two along the way that ultimately leads to a unique experience all of its own. Gorgeous visuals, save for a few textures here and there.
So you saw Dan's review?
Yeah. Satisfyingly punchy and smart combat and a soundtrack from multiple insanely talented composers make this the must-play for fans of the original, as well as a great jumping-off point for those who want to understand the hype train that is Final Fantasy VII.
I've just got one question.
Done.
With all that,
yep.
Why is it still a boring game?
No violence on the show, please. No more violence.
That's all right. You're in my house.
Yeah. We got a couple of comments in the chat. Ulrich has said he loves this one. He's gone back twice now and not done with it. Awesome.
Hey.
Yeah, I think if you can start off a PS4 collection with that collection of games, or a selection of those, you're set for quite a number.
And now's the time to buy that sort of stuff because
it's
it's
so
at its
cheap.
cheapest. Because in 5-10 years' time, that stuff's going to go boom again, just like
Yeah.
all the retro stuff that we see. So get on it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump on it, get yourself a PS4, get some accessories and get some cool games and start playing them.
You know what else you can get?
What's that?
Deals! Braden's been busy.
He has been.
It's great.
For about 10 minutes before the show started.
What do we got, Floppy?
Okay, so deals. So on the Switch, I got one. I got one that's just for you.
Okay.
I want to draw your attention to Cattails.
Woo!
Now, Cattails.
Every day they're out there playing Cattails.
Cattails
Woo!
Like
Is-
Stardew Valley, except cats.
is Stardew Valley. It is a cat PG, not an RPG. It's cat PG. You can hunt, fight, explore. You can
Look
get
at all
married.
those cats.
You can have a litter of kittens. It's Stardew Valley with cats. It was $21.99. It's down to $2.85.
There's only one cat I like, and that's Top Cat.
Get it? The other game on the Switch that I think is a great deal this week is Moonlighter.
Moonlighter.
Most people have heard of Moonlighter. Yeah, I think it's popped out on multiple consoles, but it's this is the complete edition. It's normally $43. It's down to $10.30, so wicked bargain. It's a roguelike action RPG. You're a shopkeeper with dreams of becoming a hero. This
God
includes
damn it!
what?
That's basically the fucking plot of the thing I was writing. Pricks!
Beat you to it, mate. This has all the updates and it has a Between Dimensions expansion, which we can see there. But yeah, very cool. If you're on the Switch. If you're on the PlayStation, you can jump on and get the Batman Telltale series. So this is the collection with all 10 episodes from the first 2.
It's the click and go, isn't it?
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, it's like a point-and-click adventure.
Point and
pretty
click,
much.
click and go.
Click and go. I knew what you meant.
It's one of those click and go games, isn't it?
These games are great. Braden, did you play these?
I played the first season and I really liked it.
I platinumed it. It was the first game I platinumed by mistake.
I was about to say that was the mistake one.
Yeah, I
wasn't
finished it and I got a platinum. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, there you go.
Yeah, I quite liked what they did with it.
Yeah, normally $45 for all 10 episodes. You can get them for $11. So super cheap.
And by now they're patched because early on they were a little bit buggy. But
Little bit.
They're good now.
But yeah, awesome visuals, really cool story. It's actually more Batman as a detective than as a fighter, which I thought was really cool. And you had to put together clues and link sort of things that you found to come up with conclusions and stuff like that. Yeah,
Which,
really
let's be real, is the most interesting version of Batman.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And the other thing that we've got on PlayStation this week is the Assassin's Creed Origins Deluxe Edition. If you're an Assassin's Creed fan, you haven't got Origins. Look, it was I'd call it the first of the latest Assassin's Creed.
The first of the new era.
Yeah, new era. So this is the full game and all the digital content from it. Normally $114, which is expensive, down to $22.99.
Jesus.
So get it. If you haven't played it and you were umming and ahhing, it's all ancient Egypt. It's really cool. It's like the beginnings of the Assassins.
Now, this one was a bit buggy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit at the start, but that's been quite a while now. So
Hopefully
that's all patched out. But yeah, $23 essentially for $115 worth of content is pretty good, including digital soundtrack. Yeah. Then new to Games Pass this week,
Oh,
you got Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
what a game!
Which
What a game!
Came out yesterday, I believe.
Yep, fantastic.
Endless spectacular fights. And
Yep.
the 3 versus 3 like tag in.
Yeah,
You can get 3
it's
fighters.
Marvel
in-
versus Capcom
Yeah.
2. What do you want?
Yeah. And look, it looks brilliant. They move
It looks like the
fast.
anime.
It looks like the anime. You bet it doesn't take 6 episodes to have a fight.
Like the special moves are directly out of the anime as well. You can do a special combination that falls in line
Oh, it's so
with
pretty.
the anime storyline.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And I love that
What
the
a game.
gameplay looks like the cutscenes essentially.
Yep.
Like-
Oh, fuck! I've bought this twice.
I suck at fighting games and I bought this because
Yeah.
I just think it looks cool and it's fun.
Same here.
Amazing game.
And other one, if you've just picked up Alan Wake Remastered
Mm-hmm.
on PS4 or Xbox, you can get Alan Wake's American Nightmare. It's coming to Game
Kind of
Pass.
wanted to play Alan Wake after I did that show where we talked about it for an hour and it wasn't recorded.
Yeah, do it. Alan Wake is great. Atmospherical, thriller, just really cool, dark, and just a lot of fun. They did a follow-up, / spin-off, which is kind of like if I can get this right, it was kind of like an alternate version of Alan Wake in an American Nightmare, so kind of rednecky thing. But really interesting sort of take on bits from this film, from this game, from the original Alan Wake. That was very dark, and you're a writer, and it's like very cabin in the woods sort of thing.
You know what's good about Alan Wake?
What's that?
His initials are A Wake.
You know what? I never noticed that. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. Funny
There you go.
or hacky. Anyway,
Hacky.
speaking of hacky, it's time for Braydan versus the World. As of last show, we're
Totally
tied
don't have
up
my glasses.
at 32 apiece. But Braydan versus the World, if you're joining us for the very first time, hello, welcome. Thanks for staying so long. We'll put out...
How did you stay so long?
You're braver than I am. I'm barely here now. I have 4 songs here from gaming, past, present, or future. I will play a song. And then Braydan, representing Braydan, will ask a question about that song and from where it came. And then Floppy, represented by the world, will ask another question. And back and forth, they'll go for 5 questions, trying to work out what game that song appeared in.
Please be good in the chat and don't give it away. I don't have my sunnies on this week, which I usually do, so I can read the chat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now, did Anto want to come over here and awkwardly sit to your right?
Anto, do you want to come over because you are part of the team, you're part of the world, and I might have a good chance now.
So Anto's sneaking around the back. Don't touch the screen. We
Game
found
Boy
out.
Dad has said that he stays because he pays for this.
Oh, well. Anto's about to run across the camera, everyone.
And come-
Da-da-da-da-da.
I even have a chair for you.
We have a stool? Amazing.
I have a stool for you.
All right, here
I
we
have
go.
some stool for you. Oh.
I'm just going to stay here. Out of view.
You mean leaning?
No, don't be out of view. All right, here we go. Are we all ready?
Okay.
Brayden, you're taking on 2
Go.
people in the world now. Are you feeling confident?
As confident as ever.
So, as part of our
Say
Patreon,
hello.
at a $15 level, those wonderful Patreons, one of which is Dylan the Villain, who's in the chat. Say hello. He has chosen this song. So, are we
Persona.
ready?
It's Persona.
It's very quiet. Very quiet. Super quiet.
It's coming in.
Has he already guessed it? Okay. Brayden.
What console is this on?
All of the 360 era consoles? Well, actually, no. Only PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
I just
But-
want. I want to jump in.
Yeah.
Dylan was very excited to pick a song this week. He told me about it when he popped in to see me at work.
Whoa.
He was very excited about it, and he was like, "I reckon I've got something that'll stump Floppy and Braden."
Well, he didn't
But not
count
this
on
guy.
Anto being here.
Anto's
World?
probably got the composer already ready.
World?
Would you? Pardon?
I don't have a composer.
Would
but
you
I
like to
know
ask a
it's
question, or do you just want to blurt it out?
I don't know. Should we make it a little bit longer than a few seconds?
No,
I
fuck
feel
that.
bad for
I
Dylan.
don't feel bad. I think if you can get this without anything, he'll be super impressed.
So I just have to guess the name of the game, right?
Correct.
Correct.
It's from Mass Effect.
Correct.
Damn.
Mass Effect.
Far out. That's hectic.
Brayden, feeling confident?
I'll take that one. Thank you.
As confident as ever, Ben.
Look how cocky Floppy's getting. You did nothing, buddy.
I don't have to, mate. I got him here.
I'm sorry, Dylan.
Dylan, curse you, Anto.
Curse you, Anto.
Okay, here we go. Second song.
I know it. I think I know it.
I mean, I don't know which one it is.
Is this Townsies?
No, this is just one I chose. Brayden?
Okay. What if you had to shorten the title to an acronym?
Yep.
What would the acronym spell?
Super.
Okay.
World?
Do we ask a question?
I think we need to because it's not what I think it is.
What console did this come out on?
It originally came out on the
know what it
Wii
is.
U.
Pardon?
On the Wii U.
On the
Braden?
Wii U.
I think of a question that we can ask.
Okay.
Nail it down for you. Braden might not get.
What do you play
It's our
as?
turn.
You play as a villager.
Yeah, okay, that checks out.
Question number 2, World. And by the way, I lied. It was the Switch.
Came out on the Switch?
Yep, not the Wii U. I got mixed up.
Okay.
So question number 2, World.
This is going to be. I feel like this is going to be one of those ones that has
I know
elements
it.
from different games.
Yeah.
Question
ask
number
a
2.
question? Ask a
Yeah.
question?
Ask a question.
What style of gameplay is it?
It's a fighting game. Question number 3, Braden.
Is it Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Yes, it is.
Thank God.
That's what I was going to get to next. Don't
Do we
feel.
get extra points if I can tell you the stage it's from?
No. Nope. So,
Don't feel bad. You've already done way better than much better than I have on my own.
World's on 33. Braden's on 33. Here we go. Third song. This one's from Michael Towns. Now, as I said earlier, Michael Towns sent me a song, and I replied, dude, they're not going to get that. Give me another one. So he did. He gave me this one.
Okay, good.
I know it.
Braden?
I mean, it sounds familiar. What is your main objective in this game?
To eat things?
Boy, Dad, happy tree friend.
World?
That's terrible. Would you like to go for it?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yoshi's Story.
Correct.
There it is.
Well, I'm glad we were running late tonight because
I'm glad we had Anto because this would take forever if I was asking
This
this
would
question.
have taken so long if it was just us.
Okay, here we go. Song number 4.
You want to sit here?
Come on, Floppy. Listen to it.
I do recognise this, but I don't know where from.
Braden?
What console's that on?
Originally, this came out on PC.
Ooh.
What style of gameplay is it?
It's a first-person shooter. Question number 2, Braden.
What are you shooting?
Guns.
Oh, fuck off.
Quake 2021 remaster?
No.
Fuck Quake!
Quake 96.
Game Boy Dad. He's
What?
not holding my junk, he's holding my mic stand.
Oh, yeah, I just realised what that looks like.
So that one goes to Brayden.
There it is.
Man.
So we're on 34 apiece. But I got a little tiebreaker here.
sorry.
I got a tiebreaker.
What?
I decided to get a tiebreaker. Are we ready?
Good.
Because you thought I was coming.
No, this is complete happenstance. Here we go. Are we ready? Are you ready, Brayden?
I'm ready.
Tiger breaker. Here we go.
That's not fair.
Brayden,
It's not a video game.
I didn't say video game at the start of this show. I just said game.
Okay, I guess that fits. That's specifically from episode 68.5 of...
Part 2.
Part 2, or 68 part 2 of Dungeons and Daddies.
Correct!
Is that really a fair tiebreaker?
That's not
Yeah,
a tiebreaker.
yeah,
that's
that's a
a let's get
tiebreaker.
Braden ahead more.
Yeah, well, that's that's how there's nothing you can do.
I'm being
Nothing we can do. That's how the rules played out.
How many
keyboard gods
episodes
are
of
stopping
Dungeons
it.
and Daddies have you listened to?
None.
Oh, same as me.
Oh, well, whose fault's that? Who's been telling you to listen to that excellent podcast for years?
Does anyone do what you tell them to do?
Well, now you're seeing why they should.
I will say, I can't even give myself a point on that because the keyboard is not letting me.
That's all right. I'll give it
That
to you,
is
Brayden.
karma. That is. That is
So
what
I
that
don't
is.
think that would
I'll
go
write it right here. Brayden 35 and the world on 34.
To be fair, you didn't have the advantage of me coming in out of nowhere and getting the first few.
That's
Are you
correct.
kidding me? I had 0 if you weren't here.
And if Ben hadn't said Wii U for the Smash Bros. Animal Crossing song, I probably would have got it.
Oh yeah, sure. Blame
I knew
Ben.
that one. I knew that one was Smash Brothers. If he hadn't have said it, I was gonna. Does that count?
We've been Hack the Dino. You have
bit.
been you, unless you've been someone else. In which case, stop that. That's naughty. Don't. You
I think it's illegal.
Body snatchers, March.
Unless
Come
you
on.
want to be Batman, always be Batman.
Identity theft, don't do it.
I've been Ben Rosenthal. I talk words with my mouth, but I'm not the only one in this show who does
Talk
that.
shit with your
there,
mouth.
there are others. Such as the jerk next to me, but also Brayden.
Hello.
Oh, he's talking about me.
Very nice.
Do you have things you'd like to plug with your voice?
I do, but I was expecting you to do floppy first because I'm still bringing up.
No,
the
hey,
episode nine.
I can say that, fuck floppy. What would you like to plug?
I would love to plug a movie podcast that I do with my friends, Millennial Movie Talk. It's a weekly movie podcast in which 4 to 5 of us sit around and talk about movies and TV shows and stuff because, Squid Game is the biggest thing in the world at the moment.
Over 200 million viewers.
I am halfway through the last episode. Please don't spoil it for me.
Okay.
Don't spoil it for me because Michaela and I are only up to the 5th episode.
I'll spoil it for everyone. It was all a dream.
But they've also been going over the Daniel Craig Bond movies as of late because the new one comes out soon. Classic call-outs, we've had some new ones. We did
What was the latest one?
We did Dog Day Afternoon, and then the most recent one was The Bodyguard.
Oh, why?
Bodyguard's not that.
Yes, it is. No, whatever you think it is, it's worse.
It's,
What do you think of Dog Day?
Dog Day was excellent. I really liked it.
It's a bit of a hard watch, though.
It's pretty hard. There's zero music in it, other than like in world. I loved
Yeah.
it. I thought it was really interesting. But it's a fun show. I like doing it.
What's your next one?
It's a good time. Next one is American Graffiti.
Oh, boy.
You're going from a world with no music to a movie where all of the music is from the world.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
holy smokes, dude. You are in for a treat. That is a fantastic film.
The film's soundtrack is the cars, radios, shops playing music. It is everything. It is not. It's,
Now,
good man.
I'm a sucker for that.
American Graffiti was the film George Lucas made before or after Star Wars to brush up? Was it before?
Before.
Yeah.
Before.
I believe.
He made THX 1138.
Yep.
No, THX, then it was Star Wars, then it was American Graffiti.
No, American Graffiti was before
Really?
Star Wars, I think. Yes.
Brandon, fact check.
Or no, was it after Star Wars? No, yeah. It was before Star Wars because that's
the
where he met
keyboard
Harrison
isn't working.
Ford.
keyboard isn't letting me
I'll
type.
look it up.
He'd met Harrison Ford on there and didn't particularly want to use him again because he'd already used him in American Graffiti and then used him in Star Wars anyway. But yeah, fun fact, THX 1138, his first film, he works that title into most of his films.
Everyone knows
In
that
American
film.
Graffiti,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
the...
Number plate.
Sorry, Ben's being an arsehole.
Also,
Ruining my shit.
if you do go
What,
check out
because you're spouting out knowledge that everyone knows.
I didn't know
Even the basic high schooler knows
Didn't know it.
If you check out
I said
Millennium Movie
basic.
Talk on YouTube and not on podcasts, you get to see the camera angle, which is just a GoPro strapped to my head.
Oh, that is...
Why?
I don't know.
not?
Alex really wanted to do it, and you know what? I'm here for it.
down
American
for that, that's
Graffiti,
good.
George Lucas's last film before Star Wars.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a great film. Great
Absolutely.
film.
Wonderful.
Star Wars.
I've actually got it.
12 times.
Do you have a
Yeah.
copy of it, Braden? I've got it in my collection there.
I have it too.
I don't think Braden heard us.
Sorry, I zoned out.
He was listening to it.
He zoned out.
I was closing that and I was trying to get the keyboard to work again, and then I was like, okay, wait, did I close the wrong thing? Anyway, Floppy, what do you do?
No, Anto, what do you do?
Well,
Speaking
I'm
of the
going to
mic.
be polite and let Floppy.
No. Don't worry about Floppy.
So, for those who aren't aware, I do all the social media stuff for Hack the Dino. So I deal with Instagram, I deal with Facebook, Twitter. I will be doing some stuff on YouTube eventually. I'm going to spend most of tomorrow dedicating myself to learning how to edit video. And I occasionally, and in future, will be doing streams solo on the channel. When Pokemon Brilliant Diamond comes out, I will be streaming that once a week for a couple of hours a night. Because I've never played Pokemon Diamond, so that's going to be fun. But yeah, I do social media stuff, and occasionally I turn up here.
You idiots.
Floppy
Like
Night
kids
12.
in the back of the car. Mommy, punch me!
You can see my things.
Oh, gross!
That's not what you said
You
last night.
can actually. He's not wearing pants.
Imagine that.
Ben,
I'm going to do that one, Sean.
Ben,
Oh.
is this what your things look like?
I just imagine it and I'll throw up a little bit.
Yeah, so Bad Game Arts over on Instagram. I find really awesome video game art and I put it up because it's really bad.
It's
so we
so
can see
bad.
Abadox there, the deadly inner war. He doesn't have a spine, which is how he's able to shoot a gun with his knee.
What is the fuck?
There you can see,
Oh!
Out of Innova.
and you can see there Loki. This is Loki season 2.
When he was a ballet dancer warrior.
Yep. And you can see Sylvie going for his big old boob. Just go on the
Wow.
grab. Then you can see Base Wars, where they don't like legs. All the robots playing Base Wars, they hate people with legs, as you can see in the background there. Just beating up the robot with the legs so they have cool little wheels or sauces
Base
like
Wars.
them. What else
You
we
got
got on
another
there?
one?
Scat!
Yes.
Bad Game Arts. That's Bad Game Art with an S on the end because Bad Game Art was already taken.
Special cybernetic attack. How much do you want to bet they came up with the name Scat and went, that seems funny, let's figure out something that it can mean. And they come up with special cybernetic attack team.
Well, do I have any others? I purposely chose some really funny ones. Oh yeah, Mega Man 3,
Man
where he's just shooting some guy in the junk.
Oh! There's a
Why is
rough dick
Castle
shot.
Grayskull in
Is
the
that
background?
supposed to be a Lek Man?
I don't know.
I
but-
don't even know what you're talking about now.
I'm sure it's a Lek Man.
Is that Master Chief? Master Chef is his name.
And yeah,
That's real?
Ninja Scooter Simulator.
What is up with that off-road tyres on that scooter?
And yes, this was a real game.
They look like donuts.
Honestly,
Oh.
it has been an absolute goldmine these past 2 weeks.
That is unreal.
Oh, fantastic. Was there one before that? I can't remember. I think that was, no, that
Personally,
was
my favourite one is the Bad Akuma you put up.
Future Wars.
Adventures in Time. And there's like
Not funny.
a guy with, like what I liked about Future Wars is that you've got sort of quasi futuristic and stuff, and then you've got good old Christian man there that Braden's highlighting.
Yep.
Then you've got a wolf. Just
Yeah,
a wolf.
that's
Wolf in
weird.
the future.
Cyber Wolf.
You got bloody Noah up there and then a wolf.
Squid.
Anyway, Bad Game Arts, you should follow me on there. Also, Mr. Benjamin, and also at Ben Rosenthal on Twitter. Floppy,
Yes, mate.
go to hell. We've been... what have you been playing?
You can find me on Instagram at Floppy Plays Games, where I throw up photos of cool stuff that I picked up, I'm playing, I'm going to play. That's my latest one, I believe. I think that's the latest one I put up. A couple of Wii games that I picked up, some Resident Evil and some Trauma Center, if you want to be like an anime surgeon. That was pretty cool. That was my latest find. That was like really freaking cool.
So pretty.
That was my first ever boxed Pokemon game.
Yep. It's a good one too.
I
If you
even
like
have
water.
it in a plastic
Good.
cover now.
That one goes for close to $300, I think.
Oh, look at that! You commented on mine.
Oh, did I? Woo! Yeah, there I am. Giving you that comment.
There you go.
You're
But
welcome.
yeah, go over there, check out some of the stuff that I've played.
Oh, have you
or-
played Sayonara Wild
I
Hearts
haven't
yet?
played it yet, but I have picked it up finally because it went super cheap, and I'm just like, I've heard so much about it.
I loved it. I played it when it first came out on Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
Loved it up until the part where Anto will know, but the one where it's a beat rhythm game and the stage changes to the beats.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. know what you're talking
I
about.
couldn't get past that, so I
My favorite
Rage
level,
quit.
no spoilers, is the one with fighter jets and swords.
That just sounds
Checks
cool,
out.
man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't played that, they seriously need to.
I really like the art style. So.
yeah. The soundtrack's awesome as well.
Oh, I got my first ever boxed NES game too.
That's right. That was last weekend, wasn't it?
Yep. Dr. Mario. Not the greatest condition, but
Doesn't matter.
for the price that I paid, I was like, boxed
I
NES game of
prefer
Dr.
them.
Mario.
Honestly, I prefer getting my box stuff that have been enjoyed because
Yeah.
it's got a history, it's got a story behind it.
Yeah.
Getting these pristine things, yeah, that's great and all, but it hasn't been loved. Whereas that's clearly been in someone's collection.
Yeah, someone's
and
played
it's
the
been
shit
loved,
out of that.
and you've saved it from like a garbage heap. No, that's what they should be. I
Yeah.
love those old tacky,
So that was pretty cool. I've been
dog-eared boxes.
yeah, right into the older lots of Nintendo stuff lately actually.
Good. Makes up
Despite their bad company non-consumer friendly practices, bah humbug.
that they're only just doing now and never before.
Yeah, that's right, Ben.
Anyway,
Not
team's
like every
all here.
other consumer friendly company.
We've been Hack the Dino. You've been so very lovely. And I'd just like to say, until next time, Hail Satan.